The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott Lewis. Of course, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net on all social media platforms. And of course, follow our partners, HMB Media, on HB Media TV on Twitter and HB Media on Instagram, man. Subscribe to the patreon.com/Barberchair Network. You take that QR code, man, it'll take you right up to the different tiers, man. And if you subscribe to the $10 one, you get a 25% code off on the Barberchair Network shop. Get the bcnetshop.com, man. Shout out to everybody watching. We are having trouble. I think everybody's been having trouble streaming on Twitter today. So we are trying to work on that at the moment. Elon fucking up a lot of shit this week. So like you would think that that nigga has more time on his hands, that he would at least do shit like maybe I should have streaming work on my fucking asshole of a streaming platform now bought and fucked up. So we're trying to get that up and running right now. We troubleshooting to get that up and going. But shout out to everybody watching us on the 7 Acting Hallis Twitter page, because that is for some reason working. And shout out to everybody watching us on YouTube, man. We got a big show to talk about today. A lot of stuff to get into. The homie Tosin will join us. Yeah, it's still not working on Twitter, so it is what it is. I'll tweet out the YouTube link in just a second. But shout out to everybody watching. And shout out to everybody watching on Instagram, man. Yeah, I'm just really annoyed with. It's been an annoying ass week, and this is just on top of annoying it because I pay for this shitty ass website. But anyway, we've got a lot to get into. I want to start off with the sound off. I haven't done a sound off in a long ass time because usually I just don't want to be sounding off to be sounding off. But it's I don't know, unless you've been under a fucking rock. It's been a crazy week this week. I've been on a Twitter break for about 72 hours, and I'll tell you, I've had a great time. Not seeing everybody's thoughts and shit. After the election, I just wanted to, unplug a little bit. Now I have been lurking in the shadows like Sting or JR Bang. Bang does that a lot too, lurking in the shadows. I did a lot of shadow lurking, and I saw a lot of dumbass tweets that made me, realize why I'm not on here right now. So I'm gonna take a sip of my drink real quick. It's been one of them type of weeks. But anyway, I just want to say this for my sound off about the election. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I'm going to try to get my Jon Stewart on today. But pretty much, man, so this past Tuesday on election day, Donald Trump is going to be the president-elect. Once again, he will be the 47th president of the United States. He defeated Kamala Harris this week. I hope everybody went out there and voted. I voted. Obviously, I didn't vote for a Cheeto man. But my thing is this: I'm not mad at nobody but myself. And this is why I'm mad at myself. I'm not mad at anybody who voted for the opposition, because honestly, you're about to get what you deserve. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at myself because I remember back in July, I think it was either first or second weekend of Bears training camp. And that's when it was announced that Joe Biden was going to step down as a Democratic nominee for the election. And they said that Kamala Harris was going to be the next representative, I guess. And I said to my boy Herb Howard, and I also said to my brother, oh, she ain't got no fucking shot. They didn't elect a white woman. They're definitely not going to elect a black woman. I'm mad at myself because I fell for the okie doke. I fell for the rallies. I fell for the bullshit polls. I fell for people not going to Trump's rallies. And I forgot what fucking country I lived in. I actually thought that, after the shit, damn near decade, because Donald Trump came on the political scene in like Obama's second to last year. So about a decade since he's been out here, and we've seen all the things that he's done. We've seen an actual term from this president. We've seen how that worked out. We've seen what happens when he didn't win an election. He staged a fucking coup. If Mike Pence didn't leave, the nigga would be dead right now. That's how crazy that day was. He got convicted for 35 felonies, and he was able to win the presidency once again. I think it's very, very funny that felons aren't even able to vote, but you can win the highest position in the land by being a felon. So it's just like, my guy B-Dot says, I'm optimistic but not shocked. I was more shocked that it was so overwhelming. And like I said, I'm mad at me because I expected more than I should expect it. And for everybody out there, for people who are voting for things against their own benefit, I guess you want to say, if we looked at the different, and this might piss a couple people off what I'm about to say, but I don't give a fuck. If you look at the different people who voted for that, don't blame black people. I don't want to hear nothing about black men. I don't want to hear nothing about black women, black women always stay down. We voted. There was, at the end of the day, white women, they talk all that shit, but they still came home. let's get it very clear. They still came home. There was a lot of, the Latino vote was very high. Very, very high amongst men who they voted. And it's the same guy who wants to deport a large amount of y'all family members. And I just think that's crazy. There's a lot of farmers out there who y'all talking about these tariffs. Now, when y'all go broke in a couple months, I don't want to hear shit. America, and I know some people talking about, it might have been a coup. Maybe he found a way to dictate the votes. Maybe he did. Maybe that, there was some bomb threats in Georgia, but at the end of the day, he still won the popular vote. So this isn't the thing where they, hustled the electoral college. They won a popular vote. You know what I'm saying? And by 5 million votes at that. This was an ass whooping. And I tweeted the night before the election. I thought that there was going to be a blowout. I was half right. I didn't think that blowout would be on Kamala's side, but he's the president. Well, he's going to be the president in the next 2 months. And I would say for everybody out there who think, well, the first presidency wasn't so bad. It was bad. And it's going to be worse because now you got somebody who knows he can't be checked. Now you got somebody who has 4 years of actually being in that seat and knowing that he can get away with things. You think he's joking when he says this? You're about to fuck around and find out. So for everybody out there who votes Trump, and I even people say, I don't judge people when they vote. I do 100%. When it comes to protecting values of everyday people, you niggas are not rich, okay? And and on top of it, now they have the Senate. You about to watch it. He has all of the things that he needs to do what he needs to do. So I'm just really not trying to hear that shit from anybody who voted for the man and is going to complain this time next year. As far as like the positive things that, if you're black, we've been through shit. We're always being black. You're at the bottom of the totem pole, no matter where the fuck you want to go. I saw somebody said they wanted to live in London. Okay, you're going to go from, one racist room to the main room of racism. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. If you're black, it doesn't really fucking matter. I feel really bad for the women out there. I feel bad for, the LGBTQ community. I feel bad for all of them because it's finna get even worse. And I actually feel bad for the younger generation. I was talking to our producer, Nikhil. This is his first election. And, at least my generation, whether, we getting paid back for it or not, we remember the Obama years. We remember having somewhat kind of a hope. and I do believe through that and just how bad Donald Trump has been, I've never seen anybody get a career rebrand better than George W. Bush. I see a lot of y'all out there acting like his presidency wasn't shit either. Like, let's relax. So I could spend all day on this. I've been through a lot of emotions going through this. But I just wanted to say that America's getting the president they deserve. Because in the day, once America looks in the mirror and understands that this is who we are, we might want to deny it as much as we want to and say things like, oh, that's not us. It's us. So this guy we're about to get again, honestly, America deserves it, man. So that's all I've got to say on that. I know there's probably gonna be some people in the comments of this show later on who's gonna be calling me a race baiter or whatever the fuck. Y'all can suck my dick. That's all I had to say on that. So let's move on and actually talk some sports, which is what you guys are here to see us talk about. We got Bang and Dante in the house. Y'all can follow them. You can follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter. You can follow Bang and JR Bang on all social media platforms. How y'all fellas doing today?
Oh my gosh, Scott.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's real shit. It's real shit.
Hey. Yo, hey man, I'm doing good. Look, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
I was up I only got like 2 hours of sleep that night. I said I didn't have anything to say, but I will say this. And this is something that I've already known, but it's just when you see it in certain cases. I'm gonna say people of color, right? People of color love the idea of Trump. They see, oh, we get it out the mud. We did this. He did that. He millionaire. They tried to put him in jail. He fought and all that stuff. People love the idea of Trump, whereas non-people of color vote for to keep whatever a semblance of power they feel like they are losing. Because if you go to rural America was not going to vote for Kamala Harris. You know what they're keeping or they're trying to keep. But people love the idea of Trump. They love the idea of what they feel like he stands for. The one thing I will say, though, is what I don't like is unchecked power. I think people who voted for dude, not a lot of them really paid attention or pay attention to what's going on. So this is no matter if you don't like dude or not. Here's what you're going to mess around and get. There's already a conservative majority on the Supreme Court, right? On January 21st, the day after Trump is officially back in office, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito could be like, yo, fuck this, I'm out, retiring. So that means Trump can elect 2 more people to the Supreme Court. And then Justice Roberts might be like, yo, I'm 68. All right, I'm out. So that means he can get up to 3. That means for the next 50 years, the Supreme Court is going to be ultra conservative, which also, when you add to that, a lot of the things that we know and love may end up getting rolled back depending on what's going on. So for me, and then also you have the Senate that's going to be read, and there's still a possibility for the House. So this is unchecked power. So if people want to do the fear mongering with Project 2025, well, it's easy to do it now because there would be nothing to stand in his or his people's way of getting what they need to get done. I'm not a fan of unchecked power. When we have unchecked power, it never works for us at all, no matter how you feel about how the power is divvied out or white people, this and all that. I'm not a fan of unchecked power. So it's going to be very interesting, especially in the first year of office, what happens. But I agree with you, Scott, on the way that you said it. It's just that when you look at people of color and not necessarily black, people of color, shouts out to all of the first generation people who really don't like their aunties.
Man.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I think what I'm interested in is the ripple effect on black and brown relations. Because I've seen my boy tweeted, he said,
I got something to say about that too. Bro.
He said, I just seen a lot of black people treating Latinos like JBL since the election. Like, it's been real tough.
Hey, Orlando, you cool with us? You good with us?
Yeah, no, right, no, but that's my point. Like, it's gonna be an interesting conversation because we have those that we disagree with, and then we have those that we really fuck with. But I think more than anything, you're seeing a lot of fatigue from Black people. We're jumping in everybody's issues and being an ally to everybody. Because when it comes to us, to me, this was just a blatant. They didn't want a Black woman to be president, and in hindsight, if they wasn't gonna vote Hillary, they damn sure wasn't gonna vote Kamala. We're talking about two of the most qualified candidates ever. And for as much as people went hard on her platform, Trump platform was pretty either just hateful or just idiotic. So, I mean, we talk about the tariffs. We talk about how those prices, those costs get pushed back on the consumer. So there's more money you're going to have to spend. He didn't mention lowering anything. So he always talks about this government waste that they're going to cut. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. We see what he did last time. We just hired more of his homies. So, it's going to be interesting 4 years. I don't think it's the end of the world, but at the same time, this kind of shows you, for those of us who were really optimistic, I don't see a woman being president in our lifetime unless it's a blonde Republican. And even then, I think that's pushing it because I don't think they'll ever let it happen. So, like, that's just something that I've unfortunately come to grips with. I don't think it'll ever happen because, again, Kamala was the first candidate to work in all 3 branches of government. Like, when we talking about from a governing standpoint, this was a no-brainer. We talk about uniting the people as opposed to just being hateful and pushing a whole bunch of bullshit and telling you the world is burning. I don't understand the choice, but that's what a democracy is. People get to make their own choices. So for the Latinos, I think what we're underestimating is how many of them really, like Bang said, like, we joking, but seriously, how many of them don't care if their relatives get deported? Like, it's kind of a thing where it's like, all right, they've made their alliance politically, and they're gonna rock with them on that side. So, and that's what it is. And to Orlando's point, I think it's not just Latinos, it's Black people too.
Yeah.
You have a lot of older Black people.
I mean, can I say this?
People who are conservative. They are conservative.
Can I say, not to cut you off, Dante? Can I say this to be fair too? I saw this in my Twitter lurking. The nigga Black, a lot of niggas getting real racist on the timeline. Oh, we did our job. When they deport y'all ass, like niggas was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas was doing a lot. Niggas was like, oh, I'm drinking the Starbucks because I don't care about Israel. Like, y'all look like dickheads, okay? Like, and to me, that's what, I know I sound real undercover, brother. That's what the man want. He want all of the different races Royal Rumbling.
You're right.
And that to me is what was the stupid part of it. And it also shows you why they won. I think Dante, you retweeted something today where Republican didn't even know what was the word? Authoritarian meant. I found a quote from Donald Trump from 1998. I think it was New York Times. He said, if I ever ran for president, I'd run as a Republican because their supporters are some of the stupidest people on earth and they'll believe anything I say. Fast forward 26 years, here we are. So that's just kind of why I'm at with it. I don't want to hear. I've never liked the term POC, and and I even more hate it even more. And I'm with you, T. Be that. That's why I haven't tweeted. I had to take a Twitter break. One, I didn't get any sleep on that day. On top of that, I just didn't want to see the opinion. Like I'm not somebody like. If I'm upset about something, I give myself a day to sulk about it. And next day, you got to move the fuck on. Like, we're adults. This ain't the end of the world. Let's move on. But understand there are real consequences to this shit. And I don't know about y'all. I'm prepared for all of them. And I really, really feel bad. If you have kids, I feel bad for the youth. Nigga, once that board of education closed, God bless. If you're trying to get into college, God bless. And I understand. And I just want to and we can kind of close to this because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Sally Mae, y'all gonna have to get that money back in blood because I ain't paid it back then, and I'm still not gonna pay it now. So
ain't paying the $5.
My man Rawls, not Rawls, but I don't think it was Rawls from The Wire. These two are for you, McNulty. These two are for you, Sally Mae. Y'all still not getting them. You said, yeah. Someone said black people. Yeah. Black people tacos still not better. Like, what are we doing? Like
y'all wow.
That's what we gotta draw the fucking line.
That's real disrespectful. That's real nasty.
That's real ridiculous.
Keep the Doritos to yourself, nigga.
Yeah, real nasty, fam. That's hell no, black people. We're not gonna do that.
Much love to all my Latinos out there, especially the ones who are disciples, but that is neither here nor there. But we gonna move on to talk about actual football. So let's get into the local hour.
It is the local hour.
There we go. Local
It's
hour
local
here,
hour.
man. It's been a lot of stuff. I've been ignoring Bears news too. There's been a lot of Bears news. They got put in the chat. Shout out to Mikey, who I banned
This
from
was
the
a
chat
terrible
today.
week. If you was a Bears fan
I hate
that
these
was
niggas,
a
man.
Kamala Harris supporter, this was and
This is not
loved
a good
Quincy
week.
Jones, this is a terrible week.
It's a terrible week.
This is a terrible week for us.
Quincy Jones, died on Monday. Then Kamala lost, and then the Bears were doing Bears shit. But I actually have a difference of opinion when it comes to the coverage.
Fuck you, Shane.
You say, yay, Bears talk. Hey, Shane, nigga, that's why you here. Stop. No, that's why you here, nigga. That's why you here. That's why, you see what's in this cup? It's called Jameson, nigga. That's to get me through this shit. But anyway, let's talk about the Bears. A lot of crazy shit going on this week. And I just want to say this. Bears fans and Bears media are doing too much. I'm not confident about the rest of the season. I already said that I'm dropping the win total from 10 to about 8 to 9. I'm not 9, but 8 to 7 wins. But there's a lot of people out there who are acting like this is a 2-6 team. And I'm not saying that this team, it's gonna sound like I'm shooting them some bail, but I'm really not. My thing is there's so much football left. So when I hear Ryan Poles said that Matt Eberflus got this kind of contract, or Ben Johnson might not be interested. That's because it's week fucking 10. Let's fast forward to after this fucking division gauntlet goes by. Then we'll see how interested they are. And I want to start with the DJ Moore thing. That's really been pissing me off. Now, does DJ have bad body language? 100%. Yeah, I am not a body language dude. I don't really care about body language as long as you go out there and do your job. Now, he said on Wednesday that he left the play because his ankle was hurting. I don't know if that's true or if that's cap. I can just say from what I know personally and from me being around the team. And that one thing that I can say is that there's no problem between DJ Moore and Caleb Williams. I can say with 100% certainty. Now, I do believe that DJ Moore does not like the coaching staff. I can pretty much guarantee you that he does not like Shane Waldron. He's not like Matt Eberflus, nor does he respect them. So, but now you got to the point where you got Bears fans saying we should trade DJ Moore. And now you got, Cap, you my guy, but I got to call you out. Y'all was all on DJ Dick when the season started. Oh, top 5 wide receiver. Now he's not top 10 anymore. He's not top 10 because you got a dickhead calling plays in Shane Waldron. That has nothing to do with his actual skill. If Luke gets, he can figure out how to use DJ Moore, but you can't. That's a problem that we see going on here. And so only Bears fans will take when a player doesn't act the way they want. Now we want to do draft pick counting again. Well, I traded for picks. Y'all playing Monday morning quarterback. Then I heard, of course, our guy Mikey, we was arguing Mikey. Mikey said that we should trade Keenan Allen. I don't agree with that at all because it's not Keenan Allen's fault that they don't know how to use him. You put Keenan Allen with any other offense, I believe he's playing way better because they're not idiots. We can't Monday morning quarterback this thing. I don't think, first, it's just and this is why I said in the preseason that we got to kind of temper expectations because he's a rookie quarterback. And now because things aren't going where we wanted to go, now we got to say Ryan Poles is the worst general manager of all time. Fire him tomorrow. And I just feel like it's just not time for that conversation yet. It might be time for it in 2 or 3 weeks. It might be time for it by the end of the month. But as far as Friday, November 8th, 2024, I think we're doing too much. And I understand Bears fans are upset, but we're the most woe is me ass fan base ever, where we start looking at other situations and wish we had that. I saw people wishing we had Drake May this week. Like, what are we doing? And it's just stuff like that that continues to grow. Now you want to trade DJ Moore. I saw people acting like they traded Emmitt Smith 2 days ago and they got rid of Khalil Herbert when it just happened months after I said it was going to happen. I said during preseason that I felt he was going to get cut. Mikey said, fuck you, Mikey. But It's just something I feel that we're just doing a lot, and I want Bears fans to relax. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I just got the optimistic fan beat out of me. That could be it too. And I was talking to my brother about it. Maybe I got it beaten out of me by being in the media. That okay, well, if this is same old Bears, my life is gonna move on. But I just feel that it's a lot going on right now, and this is the team that I believe just because typical Chicago sports fashion that they're just not gonna die. Like we want it to be where they're like 4, 5, 6 wins, and we just get rid of everybody. I'm sorry, I'm done rooting for losses. That part of my life as a Bears fan, I'm just not doing no more. I would like for Eberflus to wake up. I would like for Shane Waldron to be better. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I would like for it to happen. And I just feel slow it down a little bit, man. I think everybody needs to go to their corners and let's just let this whole thing play out. There's 9 whole ass games left. Now they might go 2-7 in these 9, but let's just get through the 9, and then we'll worry about what we need to do after that. I don't care what's been going on with the Ben Johnson situation. When this season is over and it comes to the fact that that Eberflus gets fired, then you worry about Ben Johnson. I don't care what Ben Johnson or Ryan Poles has to say in November because they're not going to say what was really on their mind this early into the season. I'm gonna go to Bang first. What's your opinion on what's been going on with the Bears this week?
Man, it's a lot. But first off, let me say this. Congratulations to the Bears for this season, and we wish you well on your future endeavors because this coming week is really the last game of the season for them. Look, you have to understand that it was high hopes, and it was always going to be high hopes, and the organization didn't do themselves no favors when polls say it's time to win now, right? And while technically we have won this season, we've not looked good. It looks like the number one quarterback drafted in this year's draft has regressed. You have the number 2 quarterback who is a MVP candidate. You have national media that's talking about, what happens if Drake May outplays Caleb Williams? So there's that piece right there. You have the defense that looks like they've regressed. The offensive line that is injured and really haven't been invested in to improve. So a lot of things that the Bears held their hat on is just simply not working. And I said this last year. We talked about this a little bit too because you, Scott, had said that there was no press release or nothing. We don't know what Flus's contract looks like, but now more than a couple of outlets have reported that Flus signed a 5-year deal instead of a 4-year deal. I said last year that had to be the case. That would be the only reason why you would keep him because he wouldn't technically be a lame duck. That's the reason why you don't extend him because he technically wouldn't be a lame duck. But here's the worst part about this, Scott, and this is why I disagree with you. This is the main reason why I disagree with you because the beginning of last season and how that looked. The Bears simply looked like the worst franchise in sports. They looked like the Montreal Expos of goddamn the NFL at one point. You had a coach who was terrible in his coach speak. You had Luke Getsy, who didn't know what to do with what he had. And you had Justin, who above it all, overall, performed probably as best as he could to a lot of people when it comes to how he performed last year, even though he knew he had to do what he had to do. With that being said, Scott, we look like that again. We look like that inept franchise again, and that is the problem that everybody has. We look like the inept franchise.
I understand that. I just feel like it's still too early for that. Like last year, and like I said, it's gonna make it sound like I'm acting like this is gonna turn around. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I just feel to trade this person, fire this person, do this, do that with 9 whole ass games left is a conversation that we need to park at least for another month. That's just what I'm saying. I get why fans are irritated. Shit, I'm irritated. I thought this was gonna be a way more fun season than what it is. I just feel like there's too much panicking going on and too much situation. Like, oh man, now Eberflus is gonna be into 2026. Like,
Was that
we
the
don't
dog?
know. That wasn't my dog.
My dog pissed off too, nigga. He came mad too.
Yeah, and that's also shit. This time last year we had 2 wins. This is a 500 football team. Like, if you would have just said, like, oh, I know some people said this team is gonna be 8-9. Not us, but some people said this team is gonna be 8-9. So if you had them being 8-9, you'd have said at the first 8 games they'd probably be 4-4. That's just what I'm looking at. I think that I don't know how the division thing is gonna play out because division games are really tricky to me. I understand. I think the Packers, the Vikings, and especially the Lions are playing different sports than what the Bears are playing right now. But we've seen division games. We've seen how stupid they get. And we've also seen how fluky the Bears get. I don't know how it's going to go down. So that's why I said it's too early for it. Now, if they go on this 6-game stretch against the division, they come out 1-5 or 2-4, yeah. Then I think some changes going to happen. But for
Scott, let me ask you this question.
I just think it's way too early.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What has Matt Eberflus, not Ryan Poles, I won't say Ryan Poles. What has Matt Eberflus in these last 2 years done to, and I won't say you doing this. I'm just saying, just overall in general, what has Matt Eberflus done in the last 2 years to make anybody trust that he's the right person in the position that's going to help this team when it gets to Murderer's Row?
I don't have any faith in that either, but I said he should have been fired to begin with. So, like, all I'm saying is let's park this conversation for a couple games. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm coming from because I just feel like, and I'm not saying the fire Eberflus thing. We all said Eberflus should never made it, so I have no problem with that. I'm talking about the fire Ryan Poles shit and us going back and every Ryan Poles move they've done.
No. But that's it. We got to get to the point where we got to realize Bears fans are idiots. Like, we're impatient. You know, we overshot in year 1. We had higher expectations. We should have been realistic. We got excited about the moves that we made, the splashy moves, and the fact that we overlooked certain areas that needed to be addressed. And, you know, we went bargain bin shopping. We all said it on the offensive line. That was one thing we all said from the jump. They did not do enough to address the offensive line. And now those same issues that you had in your last offense are happening now. The timing's always off because the blocking is off. That's not going to change. And so it's one of those situations where firing Ryan Poles ain't going to change that. You know, right now, I think the idea that, you know, you need to make drastic changes mid-season is ridiculous outside of firing Eberflus because that's somebody who shouldn't have been there. And if you on the sake of saving time with Caleb or trying to get the most as you can out of Waldron to see what his potential is, then you do that. But in terms of firing Poles or, well, let's trade this guy for a 6th-round pick, all of that, no, that's not going to do anything to help this football team. You need to have still the most talent available to see what you can get out of this unit. And again, it goes back to repeating the same steps consistently with a lame duck head coach and a rookie quarterback. We knew it was a mistake from the jump. They've made that mistake, and now we got to live with the consequences, and hopefully Poles can pivot from that.
But Dante, you know the crazy thing? He's not a lame duck coach. Like, that's the crazy thing with this one. He's not a lame duck. If that contract is really a 5-year deal, we all assumed that he was a lame duck coach. He's not. And that makes the offense or the offseason, the upcoming offseason, even more interesting if you do move on from Flus or not.
But that's why I'm saying he's not a lame duck coach yet because of the record. Like, even when he said this week in his press conference, we're 4-4. I think was it Parcells who said you are what your record is? I think that was Parcells. So yeah. So even when you hear, shout out to Adam Rank. Adam Rank said he was one who brought up the contract thing, and he said some people were telling him that Eberflus isn't gonna get fired. Yeah, because that's right now. Because they are a 4-4 team. Now, like I said, they get through the stretch and they get their ass whooped. That's gonna be a different conversation. So he's not a lame duck coach now. But he can be.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the offseason. I'm talking about this past offseason. We all
yeah.
came into the offseason like, yo.
Well, I said in October last year he's not gonna get fired. And I got
No.
called
I know that. We all said that shit.
Yeah.
We all said that shit. But what I'm saying is a lot of people came into the offseason thinking that he would be a lame duck coach because of his contract. That's more than likely not the case. So it does make for things to be more interesting to say, okay, maybe we do this. And then even when you started to even read the tea leaves, which me and you had this conversation when Flus was hired about Trace Armstrong. Me and you had this conversation, the Trace Armstrong conversation.
The real GM of the Bears.
You're right. When the Flus thing happened, it's like, okay, who's really running this organization? And how much do people outside, technically, of the organization have to do with this and what's going on? So, and I know a lot of people is probably doing too much with the tea leaf conversation. I get it. But this also goes to what I said a couple of weeks ago. If when Albert Breer said the Ben Johnson shit, like, yo, if Ben Johnson really wanted to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears, back channel conversations would have led you to believe that the Bears knew about it. And if they passed on that for Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus, that's malpractice. That's malpractice right there, unless you really truly believe that y'all had the plan in place. But that's what happens when you have plans and you don't prepare for them in the way that you do.
I really feel during the offseason they really felt that Eberflus was the one. So I don't even think it was something where they could have heard whatever from Ben Johnson. There was no thought of them firing Matt Eberflus. Now, I did hear a rumor. I don't know if this rumor is true or not, but I did hear a rumor that Kevin Warren wanted to fire Eberflus, but he let Poles slide because, he's new there. He wanted to give Poles more of a chance. Kevin Warren, to me, is the wild card in all of this shit because if he's still trying to get this stadium, and to me, this goes back to the building backwards thing. Worry about getting a good product on the field first. That's not going to help your efforts when you go into every national media channel and everybody shitting on the Bears. You got Chris Canty, who's like the new Negro Skip Bayless, saying bullshit every day. You got Colin Cowherd, like, he's regressing. Talking about Caleb, and I think that's a mass overreaction to him. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's a ridiculous statement, but we'll get to that in just a second. But you got all this bad publicity, like you said, Bane. We're the laughing stock again. So if you're trying to get a stadium and you want to be looked at as this marquee organization, they brought in a homeboy from the Chiefs to be their player personnel. You know what I'm saying? He just came from a top organization. He came here because of Kevin Warren. So if this season continues to go down the shitter, and let's just say they finish 5 and what would that be? 5-12, 6-11 or whatever. And if Paul's still on the fence, I could see Kevin Warren saying, nigga, this is my move. And I know a lot of Bears fans don't believe me when I say this, but the McCaskies are hands off. I know it's the easy thing to blame the McCaskies. When I tell you George McCaskey, aka Conor Roy from Succession, does nothing but sign the checks, this is Kevin Warren's show. Kevin Warren has full autonomy on what to do, football and other stuff. So now we're going to see if this continues to go the way it's been going, and Paul's is still on the fence about firing. We're going to see if this is the actual new Bears, or is he just the black version of Ted Phillips? We're going to really find that out.
Oh, Dante, you was going.
Yeah,
I thought you was about to say something, Dante.
I know. I feel let you rock. You had that look on your face.
No. I will. Oh, well, I thought you was about to say something because you had said something before. I will say this. I don't believe this is overreaction because of the way the Bears looked last year. Even though they made that bit of run, they still look like the team that will look like the worst team in the league. They just got a couple more wins because they got a little bit better situation than they had last year. You also got to remember this. I think this is probably even more important than anything. Matt Eberflus ain't did what on the road? win. He's terrible on the road. He's good at home. He's terrible on the road. So when you get into these more difficult games, you have to bank on the Bears overachieving at home because there's no hope for this coach. Not only there's no hope for him on the road, there's no hope for him on a close game.
Yeah, I mean,
those are your division games. Those division games are going to be the games that's probably going to be a little bit closer to normal, and you got your head coach who's one of the worst head coaches in NFL history when it comes to close games. It's not necessarily an overreaction when you look at the record, Dante.
No, you're not wrong at all. And this is why we all wanted Flus to be fired before the season started, because my issue is, like you said, with those close games, and a lot of those close games come down to one or two decisions, and we have a head coach who's terrible at decisions in clutch moments. We've seen that over the course of this 3 years. Even when you take into account the tanking season, we'll shoot them all the bail for that entire season. You've had 4 or 5 games where you had a 96% chance of winning in the fourth quarter, and you lost those games. If I can't trust you with those, how can I trust you to make decisions in the fourth quarter of a close game against the Vikings on the road? Same with Green Bay, same with Detroit. So it's a situation where we've backed ourselves into this corner, and I mean, they have no one to blame but themselves, because even with everything you were doing with the rebuilding and everything else, you knew who Flus was, and a haircut and a beard not going to change that. You knew who the man was. You knew his coaching style, his decision making. You had to fire his entire staff. They was watching flicks at work. They was doing everything but working. Like 10 assistants got fired, G. Like, this is his decision making. Like, he don't know how to hire anybody. And so you had to take that away from him, and you hired the staff, and this is your head coach. And like I already don't like head coaches that don't call plays. I know he does the defensive coordinator, but like, we need an offensive minded coach, because that's the direction we want to go in. So this ain't gonna work. I don't think the Flus talk is overreaction, but everything else, you could dial that back a bit, because I think Poles, he needs to fix the trenches, but he's done a decent job, all things considered, everything he's had to flip on this roster.
That's all.
And when Keenan Allen leaves next year, we get a compensatory pick. So I ain't mad at him not being traded, because you're going to get something from him technically when he ain't there no more in the first place. So you might as well get a higher compensatory pick than something that's lower, because you're trying to get rid of him.
All right, man. Let's go to the next. Half the staff is watching booty talk on the iPad. Yeah, nigga, like I was up there that day when he got fired. That was a crazy day. But let's get to the Caleb Williams part of this, man. That I felt was a massive overreaction. There's been a lot of people, he's taking a massive step back. He's regressing. Look, I'm not trying to shoot him any bail. It's gonna sound like I'm shooting the Bears a lot of bail today, which I'm not trying to do. Which I'm not trying to do whatsoever, by the way. He has played like shit for 7 out of the last 8 quarters. But I think he's just going through the progressions of an actual rookie quarterback, and it looks a little bit worse because you got dumbass coaching. I think that there's nothing that I've seen that has been overly concerning to me. On a scale of 1 to 10, it will be a 4 as far as my concern level. And when you say regression, that means he got super high to the point where you're concerned about how he's playing right now. He has the typical rookie up and downs that I've seen, in my personal opinion. If you can take anything from it, he hasn't thrown an interception in like a month damn near, which is good. But I think the stuff that you're seeing, even if he is picking up bad habits, which is something that we picked up, it's not bad habits that I feel can't be fixed. I think a lot of the problems that he has sometimes even ain't on the coach staff. Some stuff is just as simple as Caleb. I know you don't like running, but run. If there's an open path to run. He do this thing that annoys me that I used to do on Madden when I couldn't find a receiver open. I just keep running to the side until I find a nigga open. That's what Caleb does consistently. He's got to stop that. He's got to take more of the singles, the doubles, instead of going for the home run. In the 3-4 game stretch, he was really good. He took the layups. Take the layups. Now he's going back in the USC mode. And I do think a lot of this is the offensive line. We see when Caleb actually has time to throw, he's really, really good. So I won't say that it's regression, because to me, when you use that word, maybe that's just how I take it. that means that he was already at the point of really, really, really improving, and now he's dropped all the way down. To me, he's doing a usual rookie curve, but I do think that if the season continues to go the way that it's going, and you don't get rid of Eberflus and Shane Waldron, then I'm concerned. But as far as what I'm seeing right now, it's ugly football for sure, but it's nothing that I'm looking at it as a major red flag.
Oh
Yeah.
no, see, no, go ahead, Dante. Go ahead, Dante.
And I agree with you. And Ryan Clark made a very good point. How can we call it regression when he doesn't even have a year on film yet? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's too much, and it goes back to what we said our biggest issue with Justin is that we microanalyze everything. Every single throw that man made was, well, he missed somebody here. Well, he missed him over there. He did this over there. And we're doing the exact same thing with Caleb. I know we got excited that he lit up 2 weak-ass teams, but I mean, at the end of the day, he lit up 2 weak-ass teams, and we've seen that.
But you also want to see him do that, though.
No, you do. But at the same time, it's kind of like last year when Justin had that really good game. I think it was against the Bucks. I was like, shit, nigga, Mitch had a good game against the Bucks. Like we see this with every quarterback we have. Like they light up a bad team and then we get excited. So I mean, as far as saying he regressed though, I don't think that's fair to Caleb because he's still going through his first full season as a starting quarterback. I think like you say, if we go into year 2 and we start seeing the same, 16-yard sacks and trying to extend the play and not taking the layups. When we start seeing that, or we see him get worse and continue to, have poor deep ball accuracy, and we'll say, okay, now he's regressing. Now, okay, this is getting worse. We see him taking the phantom sacks where, in year 3, we started to see Justin. He would hit that spin move for no fucking reason. Yeah. He would just spin like for no reason at all. If we see Caleb start doing that, then we can say he's regressing and developing those bad habits. But right now, he's simply just putting everything on film. Like it hasn't been a full season yet, so I can't use the word regressing. He's had some bad games, but he beat some bad teams, which is what you want to see a rookie do. That don't mean he was finally arrived at the point where this is the Caleb Williams we expect every Sunday. I don't think we gotten to that point yet.
And I even say this before we go to the I would even say this, like the mistakes we see him making. The only thing that's kind of that's might be a little concerning is is a deep ball accuracy. That is concerning a little bit to me, but it's like a lot of them stuff. If Caleb just does stuff like extend the play by running or taking, like we talk about Cole Kmet not being targeted. There's like 3 or 4 plays last week that Cole Kmet's wide open for like a 5-yard gain. If he just takes those, I think we're looking at these games differently. So that's why I'm not really that concerned. But it also goes with coaching. A smart coach tells you, take that. You got 2 idiots who don't know what they're doing. So that's the problem that we have right there.
So on some dude, we got a shirt that says overrated don't mean whack. Because a lot of times when somebody say the term overrated, people assume that you're saying that this person is terrible, this person is whack. No, it just means that this person you think is here, he's probably here. I take that with the same thing as regression. He's not had a full year tape, but there has been game-to-game improvement and game-to-game regression. And there has been game-to-game regression, and y'all pretty much explained what that regression has been. Can he improve against the New England Patriots? I expect him to improve against the New England Patriots. But then he's going to come against the division, go up against the division, and then we will see what happens there. So I do think there has been game-to-game improvement, game-to-game regression, and for the last 2 weeks, we've seen that regression. Also involved in that regression is, like you said, he's not finding the small gains in order to get the bigger gains. Cole Kmet has been non-existent. He even missed DeAndre Swift on a couple of passes in the flat and in the interior where he could have got him the ball. And those two make plays. As soon as they get the ball, they're going to extend the play more likely than not. Also, what we see a lot of with Caleb Williams is his feet are not set at all. Even during times when the pocket is nice, his feet are not set enough to even make or think about making those long plays that we want to get excited to see him get. So if he's not set when he's throwing a 30-yard pass, of course he's not going to get it. That's all about progression and regression. So yes, You can have week to week progress. You can have week to week regression. And also part of that is taking those smaller things so you could do what? Gain confidence, gain some momentum, and then you start doing the things right. Now, does that regression involve the coaching staff? You're goddamn right. Does that regression has something to do with the offensive line not being healthy? You goddamn right it does. But it does not take away from the fact that that's there. Now, yes, there is heightened sensitivity when you have Jaden Daniels doing what he's doing. When you have Zach Ertz talking about Jaden Daniels reminds him of Andrew Luck. And when you hear that, you say that Caleb Williams was the best prospect to come out of the draft since who? Andrew Luck. So which one of these motherfuckers is Andrew Luck?
But
is
see,
it
but even with the Jaden Daniels thing, if you put that's why it's coaching him. If you put Jaden with this coaching staff,
he's gonna even be worse than what we see Caleb is.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if we want to talk about all of those things outside of Caleb, yes, they have everything to do with this. And this is not an indictment on Caleb because I think he's going to be okay. But I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, you can't outplay bad coaching. You can't. So by default, I do believe that there's been some regression. But I'm not putting all of that onus on Caleb because he needs better coaching around him. He needs a coach that's going to tell him, hey, motherfucker, you got Cole ass right there. Take the goddamn shot. Stop trying to win the game on one play. And that's not only an indictment on Shane Waldron and Thomas Brown, that is an indictment on Matt Eberflus. And it feels like to me, if you really want my opinion, here's my opinion. They're coaching that kid too soft. They're coaching that kid too soft and they're coaching that kid too nervous. Because if they were not, I guarantee you that Caleb Williams would be doing the smaller things better to gain the momentum to get where we need to get. And that's why you see the frustration on DJ Moore. That frustration to me is not because of Caleb Williams. That is because when you look at the wide receivers, and we saw this a couple of times against the Cardinals, it was more than likely 2 to 3 wide receivers or pass catchers in the same fucking area at the same damn time. How can you get better when shit like that happens?
But that's even like with Shane Waldron. There's no reason that Todd Monken, who's the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, can do better with that. Like, really, outside of Zay Flowers, you gotta give it to Lamar. That nigga ain't throwing at nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way he's getting that more out of that receiving crew than the Bears are with theirs. Like, and even Shane Waldron saying about the Cole Kmet thing, oh, we ain't schemed him out of the game plan. Just sometimes things don't come to him. What are you talking about? He's one of the main people on your roster. Get him the ball. That's your job. So to me, it's like maybe they are coach or something. I just think these dudes just don't have a clue. Like I just think they just don't have a clue. I think that's the main issue right now. I want to ask y'all because, like, we talk about Kevin Warren. I think Kevin Warren is the big thing here. We keep talking about coaching, which I believe is 60 to 70% of this problem. The other 30 to 40% goes on the offensive line. I know we don't really know what kind of guy Kevin Warren is right now because every time we speak to him, he speaks in TED Talk, which is why I call him TED Talk Kevo. But do you have any expectation for how Kevin Warren maybe sees this thing, bang?
No, because we don't hear him talk. How can I have a goddamn expectation when we don't hear this nigga? Every time we see this nigga was walking around with a goddamn big-ass suit on. Kevin Warren looked like he could be my goddamn uncle, ladies and gentlemen. Bunk suit, bald head, no facial hair, just walking around talking and being nice. Again, I'm going to say the same shit that I said last year. I need Kevin Warren to go sit at the 50-yard line to watch the Bears game. And I ain't talking about going to Soldier Field. I'm talking about over there off the Ave. I'm talking about off the 9. He need to be over there. He need to be at the 50-yard line. Go sit there and watch a game with Bears fans and just listen to them, my nigga. Like, I know you said that we're not going to hear from him. He's too busy trying to get this, and
you're not hearing from that nigga to the end of the season.
You're not hearing from the end of the season. But I truly believe if Kevin Warren decided to just say something, I think it could really help out this situation. And he's not. And that to me don't help Pose. It don't help Flus. It don't help Waldron. It don't help none of them niggas. That's the issue. Where's the leadership? People are really truly wondering where the leadership is coming from. And it has to come from Bunk in order for people to be like, okay, I see where we at. Especially if what you said, the McCaskey's is hands off. It don't seem like it if Bunk ain't saying shit.
Well, I mean, that ain't got nothing to do with him. Maybe he's just another Ted Phillips. That's why I'm saying, like, it's his decision. But I also feel like from the way they move, that they're going to let this whole season play out before they say anything. The only way I can see him or Pole speaking to the media before the season's over, if they go like 1-7 in their next 8. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only way. But I just, for some reason, and I have no football knowledge or football reasons to say this, I just don't think that season's gonna go off the, go down the track of hell like everybody.
Boy, you got some. I don't know what the hell in that cup.
It has nothing to do with positivity, none of that. I just don't see it because, and this is why, the Bears just never just do that. They're gonna fake pull you in because that's what they do. They did it at the end of last year. That should have been a 3-win team.
They may not have a choice. That's the issue. Because the games we about to run into are going to be difficult games.
Dante,
they're division games, bro.
I understand that. I understand that. But let's be clear. I think we're going to lose twice to the Lions.
I keep saying I think they're going to beat the Lions. I just think they match up well with the Lions.
I think we get smoked by the Lions. I think the Lions are going to do us like they did.
I don't think they're going to get smoked by none of them niggas.
I think the Lions are going to do us like they did the Cowboys. Like, they're going to prove a point. Like, y'all hype this team up as the new hot team in the division, and they go kick the shit out of us. So no, I think this can get dark real fast, and I think it just comes down to a point where with Kevin Warren,
I'm about to make Scott mad.
It's starting more and more to look like you just here for the stadium project. Like, until you tell us you broke ground in Arlington, don't nobody want to hear from him. I understand what you're saying about Poles there running the show, but I still believe that they've been told they can't fire right after.
No, that's not
that they want to, because it makes absolutely no fucking sense to keep him here. It makes no sense.
No, but I'm gonna tell you why it does make sense. Kevin Warren got here after Ryan Poles, so the reason that he even gave him another chance is because I guess he just don't want to step on his feet. I'm telling you, the McCaskies are 100%.
But no, bro,
hands off on this situation.
You can tell us that all you want to, Scott. You can tell us that all you want to. We ain't saying you wrong, but this is a fan base, internally, externally, in the national media, that knows that the McCaskies have had their hands on everything else. And now we're supposed to believe that they ain't got their hands on this. And here's how I make you mad, Scott. It goes back to what you kind of said earlier in the show. Last week, we was having a conversation, and you said that Kamala Harris was going to wash Donald Trump. What the fuck happened, nigga? She got washed herself.
Okay, I was
that's
wrong
what we
said. That's wrong by one thing, nigga.
that's what we try to tell you right now.
By the way, but see, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just saying because the Bears, outside of, if you look at the entire history of the Bears, right, outside of 2022, how many times them niggas just been 3-4 win bad? It never happened.
When Urlacher and them got hurt, and they was playing in
Champaign. Got hurt, but at the same time, given everything,
nigga, we got a whole offensive line, a whole right and left that ain't gonna be playing this week.
But no, yeah. Given the expectation coming into this season, if you win 6 games, you win 7 games, that's a fireable offense. Like, I got a question for both of y'all. I got a question for both of y'all, and we can move on to the preview.
Yeah.
Two-part question. 1, how many games you got to win it now? And 2, how many games do you think will take for Flus to keep his job?
Flus got to win. Go ahead, Dante.
I got him winning 7 games. I think he needs to win 9 games to keep his job.
I think he needs to win 10 games to keep his job, but I'm with you. I think they take one of those Green Bay games, so and then they win this New England game. So if they win this New England game, we're 4-4, so that's 5, that's 6, and they maybe could sneak a win against the Seattle Seahawks. So those are the 3 games that got them winning: New England, Seattle, and a Green Bay game. And that Green Bay game, they're winning at home. They're not winning in Lambeau.
I think that they're gonna win 7 games, and I think it's gonna take 8 for him to keep his job. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I think it's gonna take 8 because of that contract situation. I think if he loses, if they win as many games they won last year or lower, he's out of there. If it's 8 or higher, you better pray to God that bunk suit got a backbone. That's just how I look at it. And I think they're gonna beat the Patriots this week. I think they're gonna beat the Lions, and I think they're going to beat the Vikings. I think they're gonna get swept by the Packers. I'm just not picking to beat the Packers. I see it. So, but go ahead, Dante. My bad. I thought you was gonna say something. Yeah.
No. I agree. I think we all on the same page here. Like the schedule gets extremely tougher, and just given the decision making, given the way we talked about all the depth we have, but the depth we don't have is probably the most important position for us right now, given the rookie quarterback, and that's offensive line. So I think this team is going to struggle down the stretch. They're going to get blitzed a lot. And if Caleb continues to try to, preface the big play over the layups, it's going to be tough for him. Part of his success in that small stretch was he was getting the ball out quick when he was blitzed. And so, Waldron hasn't been dialing those short plays up. We talking about receivers in the same spots. So, I mean, it could get ugly. It's turning much more toward the worst case scenario for the rookie season, which is what we didn't want. But, I mean, we're going to have to see how they handle it.
Okay, here's my last question for y'all. Are y'all rooting for losses? Because I'm done rooting for losses.
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
I can't do that no more.
I'm done rooting for losses. I'm sorry.
Draft position, because I mean the drafting is still suspect. So
well,
I'm not really rooting for draft position no more.
I'm not rooting for losses.
If it happens, I'm fine with it.
If it happens, I'm fine. But here's the thing. I think this team is better than their record suggests. And if the Bears end up, I don't think it's weird what I'm about to say, but I truly believe this. I don't think the league wants the Bears to have another top 10 pick. They don't. Along with the Carolinas pick, all that shit that y'all was talking about, how we need offensive line help, you gonna get that motherfucker there. And the last thing you want is a team that the league still believes has a generational quarterback. They just don't think that they have a generational coach. You don't want...
They don't even have an okay coach.
Right, they don't even have an okay coach. But if some other coach comes in, whether it's Ben Johnson or somebody else, you don't want somebody that's actually good to get a hold of this team. Go look at the Indianapolis coach when they fired Jim Mora's and what ended up happening after.
I will say this. You can quote me on this. And I know this is... I believe if the Bears do fire Eberflus, I do believe they're going to sign Ben Johnson. I understand there's a lot of hesitation for that. I just believe that they will do it. I believe if Ryan Poles, I'm gonna say it. Ryan Poles black. His job's on the line. Okay, if this coach, he gets a pass because he didn't technically hire him. If he messes up another coach, I just can't realistically, and he's black, so he's not gonna get the Ryan Pace treatment. I can't see him putting the screw on the line with Cliff Kingsbury and or like a Lincoln Riley. And also, y'all might actually be mad at my Cliff Kingsbury take.
I don't think Cliff's gonna be a bad. I've been saying bring in Cliff.
Mikey almost cussed me out when I said this. If they hire Cliff Kingsbury, I'll be real. I'm not that mad at it, and this is why. One, he deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. Number two, look what he did with Jay Daniels. So if they hired him, it wouldn't be my first choice, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Let him hire Lincoln Riley and see the kind of rant I put on the show.
Oh boy, if he hired, yeah.
McCaskey is gonna hand that man a slip of paper with 4 names on it and say pick one. Y'all still think this shit's sweet? They gonna
gonna all be Trace Armstrong.
It's all defensive coordinators.
Well, if you want to go in the conspiracy bag, Caleb works with the QB Collective.
I saw that.
My God,
the owner of the QB Collective represents Ben Johnson. If you want to go through that, I'm just saying. But let's move on to our final topic of the local hour, man. We've got Bears Patriots coming up this Sunday. I am back on the beat this week. Me and my brother, we've been off since London. But we're back. Gonna be doing the rest of the season. If you look at the long injury report for the Bears and for the Patriots, Drake May will be playing this week, which is good for the Patriots. He's been hit on his head a couple times, but the boy will be playing this week. Now, if you look for the Bears are going to be out 4 people right now. Karan Amagaji, he's gonna be out with a calf injury. He did not practice all this week. Jaquan Brisker is still in concussion protocol. I am very concerned about that. He went to concussion protocol November 5th. October 5th. So it's been a month now. He didn't even make the trip to London. He's gonna be out with concussion. Braxton Jones is gonna be out. Darnell Wright is also out. Questionable is Darnell Wright, Darnell Taylor, Darrell Taylor, Noah Sewell, and Ryan Bates, who came off of IR. So I would expect Ryan Bates to play. Kyler Gordon practiced in limited fashion this week, along with Montez Sweat. They don't have a game, probability right now, but if I had to bet, I think both of them play. I look at this game like this. I think it's going to be a long night for the Patriots offensively. I think even with the injuries to the defense is going to have a good game. The Bears just play better at home. We've lamented about their terrible road record, but they've won 8 in a row at the crib. I do not think this is going to be a aesthetically pleasing game. I don't expect the offense to do what they did to Carolina and other things like that. I would love for that to happen. I personally don't see it. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me if they lost this game. Now, if you want full DEFCON 5, if you want the wheels to continue to come off for the Bears, if they lose to the Patriots, heading into the Packers game, that's when things can start to get dark. But I think they're going to put up, they're going to get enough done to win this game. I've got the Bears winning this one 21-17. I think Caleb will have a much better game. But it's going to be one of those things where you can't get caught up in the result of this game because the Green Bay Packers come to town next week. Not only do the Green Bay Packers come to town, they're coming off a loss and they're coming off bye week. I will not be picking the Bears to beat the Packers next week. I will not be hyped for Packers week. I know Bears fans do this little thing where they want to act like we got a shot and I'm not eating cheese and Green Bay sucks. What did Pedro say when the Yankees beat them in 2003? The Yankees are my daddy. That's who the Packers are to the Bears. So until they actually beat them, I'm not picking them. So if they lose on Sunday, then there'll be time for the overreaction. But I think the Bears going to win this one 21-17. And I think Caleb Williams going to have 2 passing touchdowns. Bang, how you see this one going?
I do see this as a bigger game. I do see 34-14 is this score. The Bears play better at home. Like just be real. They play better at home. The team is more comfortable at home. And if you wanna call this game the battle of the inept coaches, then yeah, that might be the case. Because Gerard Mayo hasn't been the best coach for this team. And I think that, or at least the hope is that Eberflus see a rookie quarterback that's over there. He could go ahead and take advantage more than the other team will. But what we don't want, especially after these last two games, is to lay an egg. The Bears need to win, and they need to win in style points as well. They need to make sure that the fan base is revved up and excited for Bears Packers with the Packers coming into town. So they have no choice but to win and to win in style points fashion. So I'm going to give them that benefit of the doubt. I'm going to have the Bears 34-14.
34-14. I don't know what Dante when he dropped out of the call real quick. Oh, there you go. Okay. I would love for them to score that many points. I don't know if they will. But Dante, how you see this one going on Sunday?
I was about to say, hell no, they ain't scoring 34 points. I'm gonna go 24-13 Bears. I think they do take care of business just because the Patriots are not a good football team. But unfortunately, I think this is still a team that we're going to see disjointed offense. They're going to have their moments. The fact that they still don't script plays for the opening drive makes no sense. But I mean,
bro, that's what I was going to say. I've never heard an offense coordinator say, "No, I don't script plays." What are you talking about? I script plays on Madden.
It's insane. It's insane. But no, I got 24-13 Bears.
And Dante, I ain't say the offense was going to score 34 points.
You just said 34 points.
I just said 34 points.
I
said the offense was going to score 34 points.
How many of them 34 are going to be the offense?
Oh, I think 24. Well, I think I think they're gonna
You had to
score.
walk that one back.
No, I think they're gonna score 3 touchdowns, field goals, going in there. But I do think they're gonna get a defensive touchdown or 2. I think that this is an opportunity for the defense to get back on their square and take advantage of having a rookie quarterback.
And next week's Packers game, we'll be getting the A-list crew of Kevin Burkhardt and Aaron Andrews and the GOAT Tom Brady. Shout out to all y'all saying
That's dope. We get to get embarrassed by in front of the good people.
Shout out to everybody saying I'm gonna act like a groupie if I meet Tom Brady. Yes, nigga, I am. Okay. I'm asking for a picture if I see a nigga in the hallway. I don't care. I'm gonna tell my brother, hey nigga, you taking this picture, nigga. It's Tom Brady, nigga. All right. So anyway, Bears 14. And actually, Orlando, that's probably the accurate score. Bears 14, Patriots 10. Take it back to 0-2.
Hey, man, if they win that game like that, fam, there's no hope. Fans have no hope going into the Green Bay.
They're going to be booing them out the game, bro. They're going to boo them out the stadium.
That's it, nigga. What?
14-10.
14.
I paid all this money to sit on the lakefront, watch this bullshit.
It said Turtle. That's part of the reason. Scott is going to act like Turtle when he sees Tom Brady. Giselle Cooks when we told him that. Now I'm going to tell Tom Brady, hey, man, fuck her, dog. You good, G. You good, G. That's what I'm gonna tell that nigga Brady. But anyway, man, he said Caleb can't look sad in front of Tom. Yeah, because Tom will cook that nigga. Tom will cook. Tom is like Peyton. They can't understand bad quarterback play when they see it. But anyway, man, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick 1-minute break. On the other side in hour 2, we got friend of the program, Tosin. He's gonna join us. We're gonna recap last night's Thursday night football game, and we're gonna get y'all ready for week 10 in the NFL, man. We'll be right back.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
By the way, if I have a selfie with Tom Brady next week, that's because my brother didn't want to take the picture because he want to be professional. Yeah, all right, nigga. I see Brady walk down that hallway in Soldier Field. I'm stopping this nigga. Like, hey, my first Super Bowl party is when you your first ring. I was in 7th grade. We taking this picture. But anyway, we got the homie Tosin here, man, for hour 2. If I'm not gonna hold you, man, you can follow him at TSNMKND on Twitter. He is the host of the Shirtless Plantain Show, man. Tosin, how you feeling, my boy?
A lot better. We won, so I'm very happy. So that's all I can say about that.
A nice shootout last night for your Ravens. I got a lot of stuff to say about it. I know you got a rant about the Ravens. We're going to get into that in just a minute, but we got to talk about the losing side first. A team that me and Bang was very, very high on to start this season, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. Ravens won last night, 35-34. And I just got to say this. After watching 2 nationally televised games this week, I don't get the obsession with going for 2. Maybe I'm old school, but you take the points.
On the road.
I only, especially with your season on the line. Like with Tampa, they had a little more leeway because it's an AFC game. The Bengals are dead. No matter what Rich Eisen wants to tell you, they're 4-6. They're done. They're cooked. I'm not putting my season on line on that. At least if you tie, it's like, well, you know, they weren't stopping the Ravens offense. Okay, cool. So what's 1 point gonna matter? If they get a field goal, they win regardless. So at least if I stop them, I got a chance. So maybe I'm just old school. I don't get the 2-point fascination unless that's putting me up 3 or putting me up by like a full score.
Now on the road
or 2 scores.
On the road is best practice to go for 2. Try to get those points to get the fuck up out of there. At home, take the points. But if you're on the road, the best practice is to go ahead and get those 2 points to get the fuck up out of Dodge, because you don't want to give the home team momentum at home. You want to try to just shock them. You just can't be on bullshit with the play, because last night they was goddamn face mask and Jamar Chase was wide the fuck open.
But as we know, as Bears fans, that Hail Mary, they're not going to call anything at the end of games. because how many holding plays were on.
You got to bring up I didn't fuck up the mood and shit because you want to bring up goddamn Hail Mary.
If you're relying on calls from the officials in the game,
boy,
it's not gonna happen. I was at the DraftKings Sportsbook a couple weeks ago yelling ho at the TV like my money on the line. They're not gonna call those plays. They're not just not.
I ain't saying to go get one. I'm saying that best practices is on the road, get it and get the fuck out.
This is why the Bengals messed up twice. By the way, Joe Burrow threw the ball 56 times last night. Real gunslinger stuff. Went 35-56, 428 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. And Jamar Chase, 11 receptions, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know what some of them defensive plays was by the Ravens, but they still lost. But this is why they messed up. Not only did they messed up by the way they lost the game, they messed up by not paying Jamar. Because now you're going to have to pay him more. He is going to be going for the biggest contract for a wide receiver ever. And we all know, don't get it twisted just because the Bengals are better than what they used to be. They're still a cheap ownership. And now you're in a situation where you already got T. Higgins. He want to go. And, he's been saying that since the summer before last. And now you got this Jamar situation. Jamar's clearly upset. And now you're going to have to pay the 5 even more. Now, Tosin, you're way more familiar with this team than we are. They're your division rivals. Both the games y'all played this year have been classics. What do you think, just from the Bengals side, before we get to your Ravens, what went wrong for them, not just in this game, but in this entire season so far?
This is who they've always been. Since I've moved to America and watched the Bengals, this is always who they've been. I mean, they always got good wide receivers. They've had Ocho Cinco, Hushmanzada. They had AJ Green, who they all gave me hell. But this is how they've always been. Like, they've been great offensively, but then they just choke somehow. So it doesn't really shock me whenever they start losing. So that's just who they are. But I mean, the biggest thing is just that defense is just like ours. It's just terrible. I mean, they got a great quarterback, great wide receiver, but they also came to this game hurt. So they already knew, like, we're just going to have to absolutely just try and gunsling. And that's what they tried to do, but wasn't going to work out for them. So that's really it.
Bang, man, you were just as high on this team as I was, but you had them in the Super Bowl. I didn't have them in the Super Bowl. You had them in the Super Bowl. Are they cooked now?
I think there's a chance. There's a slight chance, but it's a chance. The reason why, because the back half of their schedule ain't like the Bears is, my boy. That's exactly why. Like, their back half of the season is not like the Bears. So yes, I do think they have a chance, albeit a small one, but nonetheless, they have one there. I do think the Chargers game is a winnable game. The Steelers game, as you said, division game, that's a winnable game. The Cowboys is a winnable game. The Titans is 1-2. They play the Browns in Cincinnati. So, yeah, they should take that one. And I ain't worried about the Broncos either. So they could split with the Bengals. I mean, they could split with the Steelers and still win some rest of their games. And then in each of those games, you're going to have the best players on the field on each of them. I'm not saying that it will happen because right now that Joe Burrow was playing at an MVP level, he was also my pick to win MVP. I am not mad at that pick on the way that he playing. It's just that the other person that he was playing against is also playing at an MVP level, and his defense and his running game is just a tad bit better than what they got going on in Cincinnati. So
I just want to say Elon is really running a crap site because now all the Twitter feeds are done. All of them. What's going on over there, dog? Like, what's going on? I'm getting tired of this. But Dante, what you think about what you saw from the Bengals?
Yeah, it's over with for y'all, Lord and Savior Joe Burrow. I've been telling y'all all season, it
ain't his fault, man.
It's not his fault. I'm not blaming him, but I don't think this is one of those years you could pencil them into a playoff spot. I think that division is going to be too tough with the revival of Russ and Lamar Jackson playing out of his mind. So I think it's just one of those years where you're going to have to just write them off and wait for next year and see what that ownership group is going to do, because the decisions they make is really going to reshape that offense. And then we're going to really see what he about. Because, I mean, like I said, ever since, I think my real issue comes when they just try to say he had the greatest college season ever. And that's just disrespectful to Cam Newton, who carried that Auburn team that was full of niggas who work at Enterprise right now. And so that's what my issue with Joe Burrow.
Niggas work at Quick Trip.
Yeah. But no, I think
They working the Chick-fil-A on Old National.
Yeah, no, so that's really my thing. But no, I think the Bengals are gonna have to really go back to the drawing board and see how they want to build this, and if the ownership is really gonna spend the bread.
But look, Bang might be on this. I'm looking at their schedule right now. Now, if you look at, they're right now 8th, no, they're 9th right now in the playoffs. 7 people make it. So they're gonna be competing with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Colts, and the Jets. Like, and then if you look at their schedule, this is their last hard game. Like, they got the Chargers next week on Sunday Night Football. They can be had. They got the Steelers after that. You got the Cowboys, a Cooper Rush-led Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos, Steelers. They got a shot. They got a shot. They got a shot there because you think the Chargers, Broncos, Colts, or Jets gonna run away with one of them 2 playoff spots? I don't know.
They got Greg Roman offense next week. God damn, Greg Roman. I do not miss that man whatsoever.
Well, let's talk about your Ravens, man. I'm gonna give you the floor for your Ravens right now, who are 7-3, and y'all on a bye week next week, or y'all play?
Yeah, we don't get a bye week until like we don't have a bye week for a minute.
Yeah, y'all play the Steelers next week. Yeah, y'all ain't got a bye week in
December. Yeah, our bye week's December. We got like 14 straight games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Y'all bye week is after the Eagles game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start with the bad. First of all, I'm gonna mix it with the good. Marlon Humphrey's allowed to podcast. He can, if he wants to podcast all day, you could do it. He's been showing his ass up all day. So Marlon is great. He really turned that game around with his fumble yesterday. But the bad is that secondary is trash. I mean, Scott knows this. I text him. I was like, yo, what
Eddie
the fuck
Jackson.
is Eddie? Yes, that nigga Eddie Jackson. I am so sorry, Eddie. You gotta go, man. And Brandon Stevens, he finally turned his head around yesterday because he's just been like just can't do anything. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. And then we got an interception. He wasn't in bounds. So Brandon's been bad. Kyle was injured, but they said he's gonna be fine. But the secondary altogether just bad. We over here looking at Tre'Davious White, hoping he could do something. We know that he's cooked. So I don't even know why we're getting excited for that. Roquan needs to lose some weight. He needs to get on Ozempic. I don't know, man. He's looking shaky right now. Yeah, very slow. Him and Trenton Simpson look like they have no chemistry whatsoever. The pass rush is a little bit just not it. So that's the hardest thing for us. Like, our defense normally is supposed to be good, but then we brought back Dean Pease to help out Zach Orr, and it just looks a mess even more. So they got to get that defense right. But the good thing is that Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I mean, I always laugh whenever I hear all these like commentators talk. I'm like, we've always known he's been that guy since 2019. You're just seeing what we've always seen. Like, we've known he's great at pass. We've known what he's been doing. He's just progressively getting better and better. And he's just Lamar. I mean, that 30-yard.
He's unfortunately shutting me up. Like, he did that little Steph Curry throw last night. I was just like, all right, you got it, man. You got it.
I just knew he was different this year when he started wearing his grills during the game. I was like,
during the game.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I see what you're on now. But Lamar's just great. Derrick Henry's a great compliment to Lamar, obviously. Keaton Mitchell being back is going to be really key for us going forward. But yeah, I mean, our players are stepping up. Rashad Bateman, I've always believed in Bates, so I'm glad that he's stepping up. Zay just needs to stop cutting back. That's one thing I hate Zay doing. Like, you could beat the dude. Stop dragging in and out. But listen, the offense is clicking. Like, in the first half, it was terrible, but the second half, obviously, they stepped up, and I see why the Bengals went for 2 because, listen, Lamar got like 4 touchdowns in a row. I would have gone for 2 as well because what are you gonna do? You know, you're scared. You're scared of him because you know exactly what he's gonna do. So, at the end of the day, Ravens just need to figure it out. They got a really good team. Is just get the defense right, but Lamar is Lamar. That's the only thing I can say is just. You watch him, you're just like, this nigga is just.
Lamar might actually win 3 MVPs. Like,
not might, he will for sure.
I don't know if the voters going to voter fatigue. That's the only thing that I will probably. But then again, like, who else they give it to though? Like, they're not gonna give it to Derrick Henry.
No, they're not gonna give it to Josh.
No, because Josh already lost to Lamar. And
he did lose Lamar. But you know,
one thing too,
and white people do love Josh Allen.
One thing too, though, yesterday that was crazy. They when they tackled Derrick Henry, they had his ass all out on TV. Yeah. That was insane. I was like,
and they did a replay.
Yeah. I was like, yo, why are you doing this? Yeah, we don't need to see that man's cheeks on TV.
Yeah, but that nigga's like, I don't care about first down. I ain't gonna have my ass on Twitter.
Yeah, But Deontay Johnson's acting like a diva too. I don't know what that tweet was. But yeah, he does need to do in the playoffs.
What was his tweet?
He tweets some cryptic ass shit. You know, wide receivers be divas, man. I can't even remember what he even tweeted, but wide receivers is divas.
And he been on the team for a week.
Yeah, like, yo, what are you doing? Just, you got 10 days. Get to know the playbook, man. What are you doing? But
you should be happy they saved you from Carolina. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But one player I do want to shout out though is Ronnie Stanley and our center, Tyler Linderbaum. Ronnie Stanley stepped his ass. He stepped up because he took a pay cut over the summer, and he was just like, I'm a bet on myself, and he's been incredible. But Tyler Linderbaum is top 3 centers in the league. If you saw when Lamar had that when Lamar had that crazy run, he didn't even look back. He was just pushing people all over the place. So, you know, it's beautiful to be a Ravens fan now because it's just like, all right, can we finally get to the Super Bowl? And I think we could do it. I think we might could this year.
I had a different take from last night, and this is gonna be what me and Bang been going back and forth about all year. There's one thing I took from that game last night. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to 3-peat. And that's what I took from that game last night. That's what I took from this week. From the way they beat Tampa. They got DeAndre Hopkins rolling. And whoever took the King Von video and did the digitized version with with Pat, he was like, he's one of Satan's greatest soldiers. And they put Lamar on Charleston White's face. Yeah. That's all I thought about watching that game. I think this offense that the Ravens have can go blow for blow with the Chiefs. But that defense, Eddie Jackson,
doo-doo.
Roquan Smith, doo-doo. They going
Kyle Hamilton got hurt yesterday.
Yeah, he said Hamilton.
They say he's gonna be fine. They say he got hurt.
And what's even worse, the game's gonna be in Arrowhead because there ain't no. So you're gonna have to come to Arrowhead to beat them. That's why I'll be like, I'm doubling down. I understand what Bang has said all season. We've never seen a 3-peat before. You know, this is not the best Chiefs team, but I told niggas when they got DeAndre Hopkins a couple weeks ago, I told Mikey, because Mikey's like, I don't know, he's a little old. I'm like, telling you, all Pat needs is somebody with a pulse. Because Travis Kelce's over. He's doing Peacock movies. He's going on tour with Taylor. It's a wrap. He's done. He's going to be next to his brother on ESPN in like a year or two. But he got D-Hop. D-Hop is happy. You know, Kareem Hunt is bringing back, is rolling the clock back, and you got Andy Reid. And this defense they got is good enough to make the plays. If the defense that the Ravens had last year, you mix with the offense they got this year, I'm like, yeah, they can beat them. And I'm not saying that they can't. I'm not putting my money on it, especially not no Arrowhead. I can't see them with that defense thinking they finna stop these boys. And I think if you look at the Chiefs schedule, I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated, but I do believe that this is going to be a team. They're not going to lose less than 2 games. They got the Bills coming up next Sunday, which is going to be a great game. That's going to be a great, great game right there. Then they got the Panthers, win. They got the Raiders on Black Friday, win. Chargers, win. Browns, win. Texans is a good game. Steelers is a good game. Broncos win. At the most, I see them losing 2 games. You know what I'm saying? And the Ravens have already lost. The Ravens still got to win the division. So they don't start the playoffs on the road, which I do think they're still going to win. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh yet. Pittsburgh, they play a lot of bums. I want to see their schedule gets immensely harder over these next couple of weeks. Pittsburgh got the Ravens. No, they got the Commanders this week. They got the Ravens. They got the Browns. They haven't played any division game. None but division games mixed in with the Eagles, Chiefs, and the Commanders. They got it. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. Though. I could definitely see them falling off the map. I know Mike Tomlin teams don't do that, but hey, man, Chiefs, I think the Chiefs going to win it all again because of the start they made. They got DeAndre Hopkins, and just because defensive efficiencies that they got that the Ravens have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, again, I just really, really need somebody to step on the defense. Like Marlon has been talking shit all season on this podcast, and he steps up. So good for him. Kyle stepped up, like I said. But, man, it's just, Roquan has just got me sick. I'm like, yo, we gave you $100 million just for you to look like, you know, just for you to look like.
I've never seen Roquan look this bad, ever.
He looked like Daniel Ellaby, man. He just, I don't even know, man. He looked just, I don't even know what he looks like. He looked like
remember that year, Bang, we had Nicholas Morrow? That's what Roquan Smith looked like.
Yeah. Feet of stone.
Yeah.
It was slow as shit.
He's and yeah, Ravens fans over here hoping to Jarius White is looking good. I'm like, yo, he ain't got nothing left in the tank. There's a reason why they gave him up for a 7th round pick. They ain't nothing left in that tank. But
here's my question for you as a Ravens fan: is it only the Chiefs that you're worried about? Are you worried about any other teams?
Only the Chiefs. I don't really care about the rest of them. Like, I'm not worried about the rest of the FC. It's just the Chiefs. Like the Bills, I'm not worried about the Bills at all. They do not scare me whatsoever. I do not care for them. And it's just, I'm only scared of the Chiefs and the Ravens. The Ravens are the biggest enemy. That's it. They're their own enemies. Like yesterday, when it was like before Marlon got the fumble, you could hear it. Like they were loud. Like the fans were loud. One of the guys was like, y'all playing like assholes. You could hear that on TV. And it's just they get in their own head. Losing to the Raiders. You didn't have to lose to the Raiders or the Browns. Just dumb shit, So it's really just them. Like, stop beating yourself up.
I give them more bail for the Browns lost in the Raiders because at least the Browns in the division. I always say division games are a toss up. We had a big discussion in the local hour about the Bears gauntlet from hell coming up, and I was like, look, I think they're probably gonna go like 2-4, 1-5, but it's division game. Stupid stuff happens all the time. That Raiders loss was unacceptable. that was just unacceptable. Like, what a Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, it was.
Like,
Gardner Minshew and Devontae Adams and their tight end was cutting up all game.
Yeah, man. Like, but I do think this is the season that, and that's why I'm kind of mad that y'all didn't go get Marshawn Lattimore or something like that. Like,
we had a 3rd round. It was turned down.
Oh, it was turned down. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
we had a deal for Marshawn Lattimore and Calais Campbell. They both got turned down.
Oh, if y'all got both of them, even one of them, I would feel much, much better about that. And I think that in the playoffs, too, it goes on. John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, like, look, man, don't do what y'all did last year where y'all was like, we're going to prove that Lamar can throw the football. Run the ball, and then that it opens up the path. I be feeling real old school with my football analysis. I saw somebody had a tweet that said, what does make America great again mean? And somebody was like, establishing a run. Let's get back to those days.
Put it in the I form. Put it in the I form. Get a fullback and run it. That's right. Make America great again. We putting in the I form. That's what we doing.
Getting rid of wide receiver screens.
Nah, we putting tight ends, 3 of the tight ends out there and a fullback.
Exactly.
We bringing back the Mike Allstott neck brace too. That's what we doing.
Shout out to Chris Berman still got it, man. He said some couple days. I like this name. He said Allstott up the gut. Remember that? Be the old school Chris Berman. Now, Bang. Has anything changed your mind about the Chiefs from this week?
Nah, I still think the Detroit Lions is gonna get them. I don't think nobody gonna get them in the AFC though.
AFC, all right, okay.
I don't think nobody gonna get them in the AFC though. They undefeated and they ain't even played a real good 4 quarters of football.
And that's what should be scary to everybody.
That's scary as shit.
It's eventually gonna happen,
right?
Yeah, but I think that's why I also picked Detroit to beat them because I think they're gonna coast to the Super Bowl and get smacked by the line.
I'm gonna tell you why Detroit ain't gonna win. I'm gonna stay until Jared Goff does it. I'm gonna keep saying Jared Goff. I can see Jared Goff putting up a stinker in a Super Bowl. I can see it clear as day.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, by the way, you were talking about Chris Berman the other day. He called Chuba Hubbard. He said Chuba Missile Crisis.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, he still got it.
I was like, Berman still got it. Berman, remember he used to be like San Diego Superchargers. I like the OG still got it.
Todd, you in a whole heap of trouble. That was.
You remember what was the football plays? The ones when he used to like hit people real hard, like 06, and they had to take that shit off because like everybody was getting smacked, like
jacked up.
Yeah, I can't believe they let that shit on TV. Like that was a different America.
The league used to sell highlight tapes that was just full of people getting their head knocked off.
That was
until they got sued.
Yeah, I mean there was I was listening to an Ed Reed podcast. Ed Reed said that like when they used to show
Ed
them.
Reed has a podcast.
No, he was on somebody's podcast, and Ed Reed was saying like when they would show them like the hits that you can't do, said it's all Ravens Steelers highlights, which is all of it. It was just like, yo.
I just gotta say this about player podcast. I know this is gonna sound funny coming from me who never played a professional sport in my life. I only made one team in my entire life. That's because it was everybody made it. And I was the Brian Scalabrine of my grammar school team. I only came in we were down 30 or we was up 30. So I know this is gonna sound crazy. The active player podcast, it's got to be eliminated. I'm sorry. Unless you're retired, you should not be allowed to podcasts. I haven't listened to one thing Michael Parsons has said on any of his podcasts this year.
Yo, Michael
Shut
Parsons
your mouth.
was talking shit about the Ravens in his podcast, talking about, oh, they could lose this, and then the Ravens end up smacking the team and talking. I was like, yo,
bro,
that's some
come on,
self-awareness.
dog. Like, come on. And then you got Paul George, and he got on his podcast. I think it was unfair for me to get boo at not crypto, but into it dome. I think you left the team. Like, what are you talking about? He said Scott was folks ML car. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. But yeah, he said,
He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, Michael got more podcast episodes than sacks. He do. Like, and I feel like you gotta be retired. I just found out today JaVale McGee got a podcast.
Why?
Yeah,
It might be interesting. JaVale seems like an interesting person.
JaVale McGee, what Shaq always saying. JaVale McGee. Like, and I saw that. I finally saw that Shaq Andrews podcast. Hey, Shaq, you out of bounds, bro. You out of bounds.
This an old weird nigga, bro.
You an old creepy nigga,
like,
dog.
Shaq is a Q. Okay,
and that makes perfect sense.
He a Q that went to LSU. That just whose dad was in the army. That literally just shows you who he is.
Oh, just imagine you dunking in them shorts. Like, you nasty motherfucker. Like, what?
You have kids older than her. Like, what? Like, stop it, bro. Stop it. But let's do like a quick recap of the trade deadline, since the trade deadline was on election day, and I almost forgot that the trade deadline actually happened. There was a lot of mid this trade deadline, but two trades that stood out to me. Zadarius Smith, which was rumored for about a week, finally got traded to Detroit Lions. Marshawn Lattimore got traded to the Commanders. I loved all the videos of people saying that Mike Evans ain't gonna know how to act without his favorite op not being in the division anymore. But to me, these are two great trades. I love both of them. I think Zadarius is gonna help their pass rush a little bit. Obviously, he's not gonna fill in the hole that Hutchinson left, but it's gonna help them. Even though I still think that defense is their Achilles heel. Their offense has been amazing, but the defense, they still give up plays, but I think that's going to help tremendously. But Marshawn Lattimore, the Commanders, to me, is we're taking full advantage of Jaden Daniels' rookie contract type move to me. Marshawn is a legit corner. He's going to help them. The defense and the offensive line isn't the best on paper, but they're groups that they play well together. They make big plays, and this is going to take to a level. I mean, right now, the Commanders have the best record they've had since 1996. So, they've got some big games. I'm not 100% sold on them winning the division yet. Philly's been playing pretty well. They play on Thursday Night Football next week, so that's going to be a big game. But I think that's a move you make. I think that's a move that I know Bang going to get mad. That's a move that a lot of Bears fans were hoping the Bears be in position to make this year, but they weren't. That's where you just see the confidence, and that's going to take them to another level, I feel. Bane, what you think about these two trades that happened this week?
That you hit the nail on the head with that Commanders trade. It's to the point now I hate the Commanders damn near the same amount that I hate the Packers. With everything
your Mumbo Sauce group chat, that's what.
Yeah, they, man. I told them after that. I think I sent y'all the screenshots. Like, man, I hate y'all. I hate y'all right now, fam. But no, that team needed some help on that side of the ball on the defensive backfield spot, and you got somebody that's an all-pro as long as he's healthy. Man, that is the trade that I thought was the one that might get somebody over the hump, depending on what goes on. So as much as I hate these cats right now, shouts out to the Commanders because they're doing everything right so far, or at least everything is hitting right at the right time.
Go ahead, Tosin. What you think about the deals?
Marshawn's a great trade. I wanted him at the Ravens, but Zadarius Smith is a bare sign away from playing every NFC North team. That man has played for the Lions now, the Packers, and the Vikings. He just needs to go to the Bears and complete it. But I mean, it's good. I mean, it's another one that I like is Preston Smith to the Steelers. I mean, I know he's a little bit washed, but Preston Smith going to the Steelers is pretty good. So overall, though, I mean, it's gonna be exciting to see what these players look like. I know Marshawn Lattimore right now is not, the healthiest, but that's a good move because we played against the Commanders and Ravens, and they look good. They look really good. So their defense is a little bit shaky. I know Emmanuel Forbes doesn't play that much anymore. So it makes sense to go get another corner.
Dante, what you think about these deals?
I really like the Lattimore deal. I know with all of the Tariq talk this week, I was like the Bears should take a look, just because he's worth. I think he's only under contract for like $1 million next season, so that was somebody that would have been cheap just to keep. But I really like that deal for the Commanders. Dan Quinn's going to make good use of him in their system. Jadarius Smith to the Lions. We always talked about the Lions making a move with Aiden Hutchinson's injury. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it the Sunday it happened. I just saw it a couple of days ago, and that is insane. Prayers out to him. Hopefully, speedy recovery. It's gonna take some time, but they made Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so, but that's smart on the Lions' part, getting another defensive lineman in there because the bulk of their pressures and their sacks came from Aiden. So that was a big piece that was missing. So that was a good move by them, just further proof that they're all in. I really liked it. So I think more than anything, I like the Lattimore deal. I think in today's game, the way teams pass the ball, you need good cornerbacks, and to have one like Banks said that when he's healthy, he is an All-Pro. You can't ask for more.
Definitely, man. Let's move on. Next topic, man. Did y'all hear what Browns general manager Andrew Berry said about Freaky Sean? Which I thought this was pretty interesting. Of course, we know he got injured a couple weeks ago with an Achilles injury. He's out for the rest of the year with Achilles. He's probably out next year. But this is what Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry said on Wednesday about Freaky Sean. He said, really, our focus with Deshaun, I would say, for any player with a season-ending injury and a major injury is first and foremost to make sure he gets healthy from the Achilles injury. Berry said everything else we'll deal with at a later moment. And then he also said we haven't played well as a team. We haven't played well as a unit of offense. I think oftentimes we don't play well. Obviously, a starting quarterback and a play caller will get most of the criticism, but reality is offenses come down to organization and synchronization. There's a lot of shared ownership across different positions and crews why we didn't perform. You think he's just being the typical GM speak, or do you think there's actually a chance they might bring the freaky nigga back? I'm gonna go to you, Bang.
Oh, the freaky nigga got to come back. He got to. That motherfucking cap cut. That cap cut too big for him not to come back. Pause. It's just gonna be interesting what happens when he comes to play. Do you look if depending on where they slot at during the draft, are you going to be able to take advantage and get one of those quarterbacks that's out there? To me, this ain't the best quarterback draft. Anyway, I think that outside of Shador, and even that's a stretch, I don't think they would beat out any of the quarterbacks that was drafted last year. So if you're the Cleveland Browns, do you draft a Carson Beck? Or Shador Sanders or Cam Ward and have him fight it out against Deshaun Watson? I think Deshaun Watson will still be better than those quarterbacks that's coming out. And you're not going to be able to bring somebody in. So, no, you stuck with Buddy. You can say all what you want right now, but you stuck with Buddy. And he's going to be the quarterback for the Browns next year. Now, after next year, okay, let's have a different conversation because I think even though that cap hit is still going to be large, it's not going to be as big as it was. It would be after this season. So no, man, Cleveland, this is for you. All right, shouts out to LeBron James. That's for you. This is what you get for getting real excited for a freaky ass nigga. Now you stuck with him.
Tosin, this is in your division, man. Do you think he's coming back? Because to me, it's looking like I don't think niggas gonna play next year. Like he got an Achilles. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's gonna take a minute.
He's there until his contract is over. They're the ones who made that decision, so you got to deal with that. That's your issue. I do not feel sorry for you whatsoever. You chose that, but I don't even think he's going to play next year, like you said. Recovering from Achilles is a lot. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers; he's back, but he's really not back. I mean, yeah, he's just hovering around. So for Deshaun, I mean, they're probably like, how Stone Cold Steve Austin went to go see Vince McMahon. They're probably like that in the hospital with
him. Banging on his foot in the hospital.
Yeah, with the bedpan.
Yeah. That was a classic moment right there. Stone Cold hit that nigga over the side. Dante, what you think, man? Is this the end of Freaky Sean? Or you think that this is actually not GM speak?
I mean, one way or another, he's gonna retire at Cleveland Brown. I don't think
That's
he ever
nasty.
plays.
That's
I don't,
nasty.
I don't. I don't think he ever plays football again. Personally, I don't think there's gonna be too many teams to take him. I think the Browns don't want him no more. But I think if he does come back, it will be in the Cleveland Browns uniform and nowhere else. So, like you said, they made the deal with the devil. They accepted the consequences. They expected him to be good, and it's been bad in every way possible. So, it's right in line with what happens in Cleveland with their quarterback. So, they'll be all right.
Tough break, nigga. There's always FUBU. Moving on, we're gonna do our week 10 preview, man. I'm gonna go through all the games. We're gonna give our picks. We're gonna go me, Dante, Bang, then Tosin, man. We're gonna start with first game of the week that I will not be
Off.
I will not be watching. Even though I'm probably pretty sure they're gonna have this on at Soldier Field. But in Germany, which this is an active war, sending Daniel Jones and Bryce Young to Munich, Germany. Panthers Giants, terrible game.
That is Project 2025 right there.
Panthers Giants is Project 2025. I would say Giants just because their defense is somewhat decent. This is just a bad game. I will not be watching, but I'm gonna go Giants. Dante, who you got?
I'm gonna keep rocking with the Panthers, bro. Bryce Young back. Bryce Young revenge tour. Fuck you, mean? I'm going with Carolina.
Go ahead, man.
Take the under. Take the under on that day. But no, man, I got the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I predicted the Panthers was gonna win last week. They did it. I'm gonna go for them again. Get 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with the Panthers too, just because their quarterback is black.
That's fair. So I saw some tweet that said Daniel Jones going to Germany just makes sense. Hitler goes back home. That was a hilarious.
That
joke.
is awful.
That was a hilarious joke.
Now we're seeing American terrorists too, man. Like this is terrible.
Terrible. We need to get this guy to take the over. Interception for both QBs. Oh yeah, they both throwing a pick. I can
BLTs all
yeah,
day.
it's gonna be a BLT fest, 100%. This next game in Arrowhead Stadium, Chiefs Broncos. I'm not buying the Bo Nix hype that our co-host Courtney has been buying. That I heard Colin Cowherd say, Caleb Williams struggles. You look at Jaden Daniels, he's a franchise guy. You look at what Drake May has showed you, he's a franchise guy. You look at what Bo Nix, he's from. I'm like, all right, let's relax, okay? Jaden Daniels, I get that. Rest of them niggas, no. I'm not on the Bo Nix train. Yeah, I think he's look okay, but no. I got the Chiefs winning this one. I got the Chiefs in a very close. That Broncos defense is good, but they're going to be 9-0 this Sunday.
Yeah, Chiefs. Chiefs easily. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Bo Nix or the head coach, but I will say they have been decent. It's been better than expected. I expected Bo Nix to come in and be bad, and he hasn't. He's been serviceable, but the Chiefs are gonna get it done.
Chiefs at home on the road.
Chiefs at the crib.
Oh, the Chiefs.
Ugh. Arrowhead, yeah, give me the Chiefs.
Next game is in Jacksonville, in Duval. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Minnesota Vikings. The thing about Vikings is pissing me off is they can't keep getting away with this because anybody with eyes can see Sam Darnold as being back to being Sam Darnold slowly but surely, and that's just starting really to blow me. Where everybody wants to keep giving them the praise. That's why I was hoping they'd have lost last week because I was gonna come here overreaction Monday, said they weren't gonna make the playoffs. But they were able to get that dub towards the end. But the Jaguars are just a bad team. And what makes them annoying if I was a Jaguar fan is they're competitive. They're a competitive bad team. They never just get washed. There's always an opportunity where they should have won the game. So I think they're going to lose again. I think the Vikings are going to win a sneaky game on the road.
Yeah, Vikings. The Jaguars are huff. Trevor Lawrence is out, ain't he?
Is he?
He's trending out.
He's trending toward being out.
Oh, maybe he's blown out.
Yeah, I know he has some shoulder issues, but yeah, I'm going Vikings in this one.
The Vikings. Mac Jones ain't beating the Vikings.
Yeah, Mac Jones in 2024.
Yeah,
Gross, disgusting. Oh no, thank you.
That
And even
2021 draft, oh my God.
back to what you're saying about the Jags, they should have beat the Eagles, but
Yeah,
Trevor
exactly.
Lawrence, again, like Tay said, they some huff. Like I don't know why he threw that pass, but again, that's what the Jags are, just stink.
Trick off Trev.
Trick off. If he was in any other city, we would be killing this nigga. He plays in Jacksonville. That's why nobody. And also, I think just because he's like sunshine off. Remember the Titans. Nobody wants to judge this nigga. But that
No, I told you, bro. He white Jesus in the South. Like they Trevor Lawrence gets treated differently because like he's been QB1 since he was 14 years old. Like it's been him and Justin since that damn show on Netflix. Like they expect him to be great.
Justin messed up. They're like nigger. When Trevor messed up, like oh it's okay. It wasn't a bad pass. Look at what's around him. That's what's 100% going. That 2021 draft looks so bad. Like
Quarterback wise,
it's like it was Trevor when Zach Wilson went number 2. Matt Jones was in that draft. Justin was in that draft. Trey Lance. We forgot about Trey Lance. Dak is on IR, and Trey Lance still can't get
Nigga,
no
the Cowboys forgot about him too.
Right, exactly. Them niggas running Cooper Rush out there, man. It's just bad. This next game is one of the most violent rivalries in football. Saints Falcons in New Orleans. The Saints have fired their head coach after losing 7 in a row. It said Trey Lance
with Riz,
bro. He said Trey Lance went 3rd overall with like 100 snaps. Yeah, him and Anthony
easily one of the worst picks ever. Easily one of the worst picks
him
ever.
and Anthony Richardson.
even the backup quarterbacks in that draft was ass. Kyle Trask was taken.
Yeah,
Davis Mills.
Yeah. Like, come on, yo. I'm gonna go Falcons in this, man. The Saints are really, really bad. The Saints are really, really bad, and I really like what Raheem Morris is doing over there with Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go Falcons. They extend their division lead, and Kirk Cousins is starting to look real comfortable. We're talking about quarterbacks coming back from Achilles. He's looked the best out of the what 3? There it is, 2 going on 3. But yeah, Kirk's looked really good, and the Falcons. I'm surprised they didn't do more to shore up their front 7 before the deadline because their defense is kind of thin on the inside, but they have a very good secondary. So I like the Falcons.
That Matthew Judon trade did nothing.
Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah,
he shot himself in the foot because they was offering him money and he said no, I'm gonna earn it.
No, he said no.
Body built by Taco Bell.
Yeah. Bang, who you got?
Yeah, I got the Falcons as well, man. Real quick, real easy. Shouts out to that new coach with the Riz or whatever his name is, though.
Yeah, I got the Falcons too. Kirko Chains is gonna go crazy. By the way, do y'all remember the Saints 2017 draft?
No, I don't.
Y'all gonna be so disgusted at what they did in that.
All
draft.
I know about 2017 is we drafted Mitchell Trubisky and I took a walk down Melrose for like an hour.
So they got Marshawn Lattimore. They had Ryan Ramczyk, the offensive tackle. They had Marcus Williams and Alvin Kamara.
Oh.
And Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, that was their draft.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah.
Next one. Buccaneers Niners in Tampa. I really feel bad for Baker because he ain't throwing to nobody out there. Like all his wide receivers hurt. That nigga throwing to me. The Niners will be getting Christian McCaffrey back. I don't know how many snaps he's gonna play, but they will be getting him back. This is in Tampa. They played well against the Chiefs this week. I'm still not big on the Niners this season, but I'm gonna go San Francisco. I think they found a way to win this one. I'm not expecting enough for Christian McCaffrey to actually see what he's like post that Germany surgery he got. I don't think he's right yet. But I'm gonna go with the Niners in a very close game.
I'm gonna go Bucks, bro. I've been on the Baker Mayfield train for a minute now. I think Bake is a very solid QB, top 15, top 10. And I think despite the fact they don't have the weapons, he's really comfortable in that offense, and he's gonna put some points up. So I'm going with the Bucks.
I got the Bucks too. I think the run game is gonna get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Baker. He's a real gunslinger. Reminds me of the Bears old quarterback from way back in the day.
Shea Cutler?
Yeah, a real gunslinger. He don't give a damn. He gonna throw something, a pick or a touchdown. He don't give a damn. He's throwing it.
Yeah, Jay did not care. Jay had throw 4 picks and like I do it again. And what? He said Christian McCaffrey is too busy doing TikToks with his fine wife. That's hilarious. Like it's because his knee is done. That's why he's doing TikToks. Colts Bills second game of Joe Flacco. Well, third game because Anthony Richardson got injured earlier, but they'll be going against the Bills. I think the Bills gonna make easy work of these niggas. I don't like the Colts whatsoever. That goes to another player podcast. Take Zaire Franklin's microphone away. They go out there lose. They're going this show and talk like he was Brian Urlacher. I'm like, all right, man, enough. Unplug the microphones. I'm going Bills in this one. Josh Allen has a big game. They blow him out.
Yeah, Bills Mafia. I'm going with the Bills.
Bills Mafia, Insane Vice Lords.
Insane Vice Lords. Who's insane Vice? Who's Vice Lords on the Bills?
Joe
all
Flacco.
the Bills. They Mafia, Bills Mafia, Insane Vice Lords.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper with the Lords.
Yeah, he is. Nah, the hater in me wants to go with Joe Flacco and the Colts, but the real person in me knows they're gonna get their ass beat. So let's just go with the Bills.
This next game, Chargers Titans at SoFi Stadium. Will Levis is back in the starting lineup. That's all you need to know. I'm going Chargers. 100%.
I've been trying to get that ticket away. I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well.
How many tickets have you sold this year?
I've sold them all.
Okay.
I think last week I didn't sell it, but for the most part they've been good. And I've been
Dante is the only Charger season ticket holder in Atlanta, Georgia.
Probably. But yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Hey man, San Diego Superchargers got the best. I think they said they got the best scoring defense in the NFL, and they about to go up against Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. Oh man, they about to score 2 touchdowns. That defense will.
I want to see what kind of meme he's gonna give us this week, Will Levis, Mayo boy. So let's go. I can't believe he put mayonnaise in his coffee. Disgusting.
Will Levis has a commercial. I was like, what are we doing with this world when Will Levis has a commercial? Like, and even like the vibes between this gonna be an actual home game for the Chargers. I don't know you know any Titans fans, nigga? I don't know any Titans fans. They're not gonna travel to LA, nigga. Like, and it's two different Rams games be cracking. Like, feel like a day party. You go to like a Charger game, it's like they got Sean Mack DJing. Like it's like what are we doing here? Like you playing the same songs, nigga. Like it's a different vibe at Charger games. But next game, Cowboys Eagles. Cooper Rush versus Jalen Hurts. I said on Tuesday that Philly would have got it done in the election. I was not gonna make a Joel Embiid or Jalen Hurts joke again. That did not happen. So I will continue to make those jokes, but they're gonna beat the Eagles this week. I mean, beat the Cowboys this week. Cowboys, I don't feel win another game. He said, only Titans fan I know is Young Buck. That's hilarious. that is hilarious. Cowboys, Eagles, who you got?
Okay, Eagles. This is pretty easy.
Eagles. Hey, you gonna see Trey Lance in the game though?
Cooper Rush isn't gonna finish the game.
No, he's not gonna finish this game. No, he's not.
Yeah, once Jalen Hurts started talking like Maya Angelou, I knew he was back. So yeah, the Eagles got it.
He started quoting his favorite scripture and shit.
Yeah, that's when he started speaking to Instagram, the Eagles is doing pretty well.
John 6:12 said,
Man,
"Thou shalt."
Wait a minute. Did you say start speaking in Instagram? Fam?
Yeah, he be speaking in Instagram quotes. That nigga definitely tweets good morning. Let's get to the grind.
He's Shamar Moore, 2024 Shamar Moore. That's what he is.
Yeah, he didn't like when you see people take his quotes and put on Instagram reels too much. That's when you know, like, oh yeah, Jalen Hurts is starting to cook again. Like that's what you're starting to see.
Jalen Hurts got a goatee in the ear, and he a Tyler Perry villain. That's what he is. He looked like a villain in Tyler Perry movies.
Anytime you're a quarterback and you lead the team history wise, and you're top 3 in rushing, that's a problem. I'm sorry. But the next one, Cardinals Jets. Cardinals, after a straight up shellacking of the beloved, they're looking to continue their winning streak. I'm not buying the Jets, despite that they got that little win last week. I'm going Cardinals in this one. I think Cardinals win by a couple touchdowns.
The Jets are just bad, bro. I'm definitely going with Arizona.
The Jets at home?
No, it's in Arizona.
Oh man.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot of Jets fans. A lot of New York niggas be in Arizona, but
Man, them still gonna get
yeah,
it.
that's true.
Yeah, Kyler Murray gonna dance on him. He running around like a badass 2-year-old. So yeah, he gonna be up. So.
Running like Tommy Pickles. That's who. That's who. Kyler Murray be running like Tommy Pickles. Final two games, man, are two national TV games. Sunday Night Football in Houston. Texans going up against the Detroit Lions. Oh man, Lions gonna win this. I've been concerned with how the Texans have been playing this year. Even they were winning at the beginning of the season, I was like, something's off. I feel like CJ is hitting a little sophomore wall a little bit. You got Nico Collins is out.
He's back.
Stephon Diggs. Oh, he's back?
Nico's back this weekend.
Oh, okay. Nico's back this week. Okay. Stephon Diggs out for the season. But Detroit's just on another level right now. Like, they are clicking from every cylinder offensively. That running game is nasty. Jared Goff looks incredible. I'm going with Detroit with a nice road win on national TV.
Yeah, another indoor game. I got Detroit doing what they want to do, taking care of business, and then
this is in Houston. I mean, it's Houston. I don't know if they're gonna have the roof open, but
it's probably gonna be closed. But I'm gonna go Lions.
I have the Lions, man, and just remember, man, CJ Stroud is a cautionary tale. Don't give the farm the brass ring to a nigga too early.
So you saying the Texans did that?
Yeah, the Texans and the national media did that.
Yeah, national media was talking like he was gonna be head to head with Mahomes.
Yeah,
like,
remember, hey, everybody needs to have the CJ Stroud year, but but it's about your career and not just 1 year. So, Lions is gonna win that one in a rout.
Yeah, I got the Lions too, but also, not all of us are gonna win unanimous MVP in our sophomore year.
Can't be Lamar Jackson. I just want CJ to fail this year because of him trying to big bro Caleb. Like, nigga, sit down. Like, you got to be at least a 5-year veteran to tell somebody to keep working. I'm sorry. Like, sit down somewhere. I had an issue with that. Like, you sit down. Don't be telling me. Don't grab me and be like, I'm talking to you, nigga. You are not Patrick Mahomes. You're not Josh Allen. You ain't none of them. Like, you not even Jalen Hurts. I expect that mother Jalen Hurts. Like, come on, let's see in the Super Bowl. Don't try to big bro me. Like, nigga, I got a Heisman. Like, get out my face. But anyway, final game of the week, Monday Night Football, Rams, Dolphins, SoFi Stadium. The Dolphins have actually been playing better these last couple weeks. They've lost on some last-minute field goals. Tua learned how to slide last week. That's a positive development. But the Rams, I feel, are going to be one of those wild card teams. They're playing much better. Since they got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back. Going with the Rams with a nice home W on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm going with St. Louis. The Dolphins, I don't pick Miami no more for nothing. Just because the day it happened, I'm gonna say I told y'all niggas, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah.
You said the day it happens.
Y'all ain't shit, man.
Niggas gonna be real somber on SportsCenter.
Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Nah. Man, shouts out to my pick for defensive rookie of the year. Somebody who I had some high expectations with because I wanted to see. That's what I'm trying to get to. Hey man, fuck it, y'all got it. Hey man,
DeMar Hamlin.
Yo, DeMar Hamlin.
Hey, when that nigga learn how to play football, man? Come on. He be sending niggas to the hospital now. I'm like, what's going on?
I got the Rams, man.
What DeMar Hamlin become a headhunter? Like, he be knocking niggas out. Like, y'all don't find that funny?
I was about to say something crazy. I'm not gonna say
Yo, you might as well just say it.
I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say, what's that movie? What's the movie with Kadeem Hardison and
6 Man?
6 Man. I said DeMar died and Sean Taylor came back with that nigga, and he been laying motherfuckers out ever since.
Hey, Damien said that Kurt Lord on MTV News was gonna play when Tua get hit.
Yo, that was woke up DeMar Hamlin.
Ooh.
Yo,
Derrick Henry had that run. He saw Derrick Henry's eyes. Was like, you know what, man?
They said DeMar Hamlin came back as the Grim Reaper.
Nigga said I've been there, but nigga said I've been there before. You ain't finna hit me again.
I see God, boy. What DeAndre? I feel God, boy. That's what DeMar Hamlin be saying. When he's done, man. But
Yo, Tay also said something so funny. I'm not sure I paid attention. Tay called them the St. Louis Rams. Boy, I have not heard that in a minute.
That's how throwing off I was.
And that man Tay said, "I got St. Louis in the game."
Nigga, they ain't gonna St. Louis because Nelly was out.
It's like who? Like, I got St. Louis in the game.
No.
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, man.
I forgot who pick it was, man. You get your pick?
Oh, I was trying to say that Jared Verse is looking like the defensive rookie of the year. So as long as he don't touch Tua, we all right.
And then somebody said he gonna kill Tua.
Right. So yeah,
I got the Rams too, but also y'all notice Odell Beckham just been doing nothing.
He been TikToking.
It's
He
collecting
been
checks.
TikToking.
Yo, I knew Odell was cooked because the Ravens didn't pick him back. You know, usually when the Ravens don't let somebody come back, it's because they cook.
Odell died of the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Like we gotta be real about it. Like he was
cooking.
I believe he'd have been MVP if he didn't. He was cooking.
He cooked a little bit for us last year, but then like eventually we just realized
he had a couple plays. Yeah, he had a couple plays last year.
Then it was Joey Porter Jr. that told that man go home and be a family man, and that was it.
Yeah, Joey Porter. I love that Joey Porter talks like his pops. Did y'all see that video of him being on the sideline when they introduced his pops, like the legend entrance? Yep. And dude's like, "That's your dad." Now that is why I like to see a player not the Bronny stuff.
I knew that was coming.
Coming. Hey, yo, did you see somebody took the clip from Big Daddy where the little kid was like, "Wait, my own ass." They said that's Bronny going to the G League.
Yo, I have a theory, by the way, Bang and Tay. I told Scott this. I was watching the old Miami 30 for 30 with what's his name? With Michael Irvin, them niggas.
Yeah.
I was like, those were the first YNs in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Michael Irvin.
100%.
That's right. They came through Wilder.
Michael Irvin, the first YN in the NFL. Then Dion.
They came through Wilder. Dion had 16 chains on and a curl that was just dripping.
He got drafted in that fit.
Yeah.
Yes. Draft day fit.
And then Warren Sapp was another YN. Ray Lewis was another YN. And then that whole 02 Miami. Yep, all of them. I was trying to think about who was the first. I would say Lawrence Taylor was the first one, but he's not even a YN. He's just a
niggas was catching bodies at Miami in 2001. Like, no lie. Like, you go back and watch that documentary, niggas was getting dealt with on campus, bro. Speaking of getting dealt with, FX, y'all going to hell for that Aaron Hernandez show. Y'all are going
still watch
to
that?
hell. Yes, if it's so bad, it's like a car crash. I can't turn away. It's so bad. And also, Shorty who plays his wife is ridiculously fine. I actually looked up the actual. I'm like, all right, y'all did her a great service because she looks nothing like her. But that show, they got Alex Verdugo playing Aaron Hernandez. Like, what is this? Like,
that's bad.
If I was gay, I'd be offended for the way that they got it. Like, oh, he's gay. That's how he became a serial killer. Like, what are we doing? Like, I would be super offended. Like, no, that's not he's not a serial killer because he was gay. He was a serial killer because he was crazy. Like,
he just happened to be gay.
Yeah, he just happened to be. Like, and they kept. I was like, all right, y'all trying to blame that for him killing 3 people. Like, what are we doing, man? Dude play. I don't know. This casting is not as worse as Clipped, but it's up there. It's like they took. Remember, I think the first 2 shows they did the OJ and the Hillary Clinton show. Great casting for both. After that, they said, we don't care about budgets no more. We gonna hire some Puerto Rican nigga that walk up the street. You're Aaron Hernandez. Come over here. Like, that's exactly what they did. So they going to hell for that show. Because this season has just been OC, man. But
last thing, my favorite thing about Aaron Hernandez when Ryan Moulton had that Instagram.
First of all, my favorite thing about Aaron Hernandez is a wild way to start a quote.
Yo, even when Ryan Moulton said he had an Instagram post where he was just like, this dude said he said he gonna kill me. I said, little did I know.
Yeah.
He's like, little did I know.
Little did I know.
He wasn't even joking.
Yo,
So
they
you're
had,
saying there was a chance.
they had Dante playing Cam Newton on
Bro, that shit was so
Aaron
funny.
Hernandez.
Cam said, I called my agents and they could do this shit like this.
Like, it's just terrible, terrible casting, man. But if
That-
I honestly, have y'all seen the Patriots documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
a full episode on Aaron Hernandez, like a true crime
Yeah,
documentary.
it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, Florida from like 05 to like 09 was just full of terrible people. Not
And that's
just the
why
football
I
team.
hated the documentary they did.
Bro,
The
it wasn't
Swamp
even
Things
like
documentary.
it wasn't even
Yeah,
a
they-
football team. They had Ryan Lochte on campus back then.
Yeah.
They had what's his name from the Celtics? The Dominican dude, forgetting his name.
Al Horford.
Al Horford.
Al Horford was on campus
It
around
was
then
him,
too.
Joakim
Joakim
Noah,
Noah.
and all them niggas.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
it called? That played in the
Corey
Warriors as
Brewer.
well. Maurice Spates was there as well.
Yeah.
Corey Brewer was there.
The
also
Pouncey
had-
brothers,
Will Hill was around that time too. It was like, yo, y'all just had a bunch of just
Cam
He-
Newton, Aaron
Like a-
Hernandez, and Tim Tebow trying to get all these niggas to go to church. Like
Just
that's what you had.
just a bunch of defunct human beings. Like I don't even know how they got that collection of human beings. Ryan
Right.
Lochte, just terrible.
It's ridiculous show. But that's all we got for y'all today on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. He said enough of Agon James. And when y'all call him Agon, that is hilarious. There's few things funny than call him Bronny Agon. And hey, we gonna see. He in the G League now. We gonna see. We gonna really see now. You got niggas who they trying to pay their rent. We gonna really see if he can play it now. That's what I'm trying to see right now. But that's all we got. Tosin, man, it's always great to have you on, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Anything you want to promote before we wrap up everything up?
Nothing really, man. Just keep your head afloat, man. That's all it is, because we live in some weird ass times right now.
Yes. We definitely living in some weird times. Stay black, man. That's what I'm saying. Stay black. That's the only thing I got. Stay black. But y'all can follow me at Barbchair Scott on all social media platforms. Follow me on TikTok, man. My TikTok low keep been busting lately. I don't know why. I got 163 followers on there, but like as soon as I post a video, I get like 2,000 views. So still keep messing with your boy on TikTok, man. But follow Dante at October's on Tay on Twitter. Follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. Subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbershed Network. Screen the QR code take you right to the link. If you subscribe to the $10 tier, you get a 25% off code at the Barbershed Network shop. That is bcnetshop.com. And yeah, man, y'all have a great sports weekend. There's a big this is Scott doing skits on TikTok now. Hey man, I'm trying to get some money, dog. You gotta do what you gotta do. You ain't gonna see me dancing on there though. Relax. But big sports weekend, a lot of NBA, a lot of college football. I'm rooting for LSU tomorrow because Courtney does not deserve to be happy after the way she be talking about my football team. So I'm rooting for LSU tomorrow. But we'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, we're talking about a Bears win. Hopefully, they actually score some points. And it's not 14-10, like Orlando said earlier. So we're going to holler at y'all, man. We up out of here.